here. I just realized I want to show you. Oh, my microphone. I just realized I'm going to want to show you silk that I didn't have. But I'm here. Hi. Hello. Good day. Hello. Okay. Hi. Welcome to Sommelier Lore Live. Your casual YouTube experience where I have very little plan. We open up a day of sommelier, we look at it, we talk about it, and then we carry on. Wow. Hi, my name is Melly from Melly Knits, and together with a few other in and around this room, the wool room, we hand process lots of wool every month. We sell it various channels. One of the things we sell, one of the channels we sell is subscription fiber clubs, where every other month someone gets a bat or a wash wool product or something like that, raw wool, etc. So that's what this meeting is for, where we're going to get together after everyone's for sure gotten all their fiber, and then we talk about it and we go a little deeper into it. That's my intro. I am scattered as frick today. Okay. So I am like on a speed run. I was on a speed run to get these samples spun up because I am traveling tomorrow. I'm heading to Europe. I just feel fancy saying it. I'm heading overseas. One of our kids is doing a semester overseas, and I'm heading over to visit with him. And we're just going to be running around Europe together for like 2 weeks. It's going to be great. And so today I'm kind of like doing all the things where I'm making sure, like I'm not leaving for a year, but I feel like I'm doing like a lot of prep to get out the door. And I'm packing today and everything because I leave tomorrow. So I'm feeling a little scattered, hence the intro. So if you're new here, I probably isn't going to be that different than what a usual YouTube live would be like from me. Maybe just slightly more like hamster brain, if that makes sense. So that's what's going on. Hi, everyone. Hi, you're all coming in. Hello. Good afternoon. Serena. Hello. Mwah. Hi, everybody. Okay. You're all coming in. Lovely. Everyone can hear me okay? Little microphone is working. Mm-hmm. Oh, how fun, Shannon says. Right. Aaron's my husband. Again, if you're new, sometimes I feel like I jump on here and I talk as if everybody just knows, forgetting that like the internet is vast and enormous and not everybody just knows about the lady in the room talking about the wool or whatever. So Aaron, my husband, he thinks my packing methods are so funny because like I'd say about 2 weeks ago, I started to sort of like make my list and put things in a little pile in the corner of the room and decided that was going to be my method. I was going to start putting, because I don't want to forget anything. You should have, oh my gosh, the way that I agonized over the knitting project that I'm bringing with me is maybe the funniest. Oh, everybody, this is...
Hi, I'm cute little Emily.
This cute little Emily, who's joining us for the live today.
Yes.
Because she actually scoured all the wool for this last sommelier. She did it all by herself. Oh, I would say you do like most of the scouring all by yourself. Put your microphone on.
Probably. Oh.
Level, scale of 1 to 10, first seconds. How uncomfortable are you on the live? There's not very many people here. But it will be viewed by maybe hundreds.
Oh, scary. Talking to a computer is super weird though. So
well, you're not talking to a computer, you're talking to them.
Oh, that's true.
That's so that's the chat there. And they're saying, hi, Emily. See?
Hi.
So they're saying hi. You know Giselle and Serena and all these names. You would recognize them.
I'm sure. How many of you are there? Where can I see that?
Up there.
Hello. Oh,
that's who's here right now.
Oh.
And then obviously it goes on later.
Okay.
And everybody will watch. Wow. You wash.
I wash.
And she's washing right now. So she's going to be in and out on her. Where's your timer?
It's on my phone.
Okay. So she's on 20-minute timers because she's scouring today for March sommelier. So I've just told everybody that I'm leaving tomorrow.
Right.
So I'm hamster scrambled.
Yep.
And then, so Emily has this massive pile out in the garage. We made it this morning for her to scour for March sommelier while I'm gone. And for her to start scouring Fibers West. So our next big in-person show is Fibers West here in like local to us. It's like 15 minutes away from us. We live just outside Vancouver, British Columbia. And so I love Fibers West. This was long-standing, like my favorite show to go to. Because it's got like a real fibery, woolly focus, lots of shepherds, lots of farms, like that kind of thing. And now we've ended there, which is fun. So it's one of our, I wouldn't say it's like a huge show. It's pretty big. It's okay. Yeah, it's a good size. It's a good size. It's the right size. Yeah. And so we're gonna be
I like it.
We're gonna be vending at Fibers West, and new to us this year, because we've had the last couple times we've vended in person, we had Wool Yoda in the booth with us. And Wool Yoda is not going to be in the booth with us, but has asked us to bring lots of washed wool and raw wool in her place. And so we're kind of getting ready a little differently for that than we normally do. And we're just starting on selling raw wool. Washed wool we sell all the time. But anyway, so there's some interesting things. So we made a big monster pile this morning in the garage.
Yeah.
It looks like Emily stands on one side, the normal side with light, and then I'm on the side where all the wool is, which weirdly has no light. We gotta talk to Erin about that.
Yeah, we do.
Digging fleece out of shelves, crawling underneath machinery to try and like access, because we have like an idea of what we're looking for, but hundreds of fleece to look through. And then we find them all. Oh, fun. Okay, there's people excited for Fibers West.
Me
That's
too.
great. All right. Okay.
This will be my third show vending at. It's very exciting.
This is your third one?
Yeah, because I did Fibers West with you last year, and then I did Knit City, and now this is my third one.
Oh, this is your
Yeah,
third
this is
one.
my
Okay,
third
yeah,
one.
you haven't
Yeah.
done 3. How do you like the shows?
I love the shows. They're really fun. I like getting to meet everybody, and I like being in the show environment. It's very exciting.
Okay, I like the show environment too.
And I like looking cute, because at work I generally don't look cute, so it's nice.
Like this? Show us your fuzzy pants.
Yeah.
Yes,
My,
this is how we
work
look
slippers
every
on.
day.
Yeah.
And I just actually changed my sweater for you all. I was in another version of a work sweater, and I get in here and I put the light on. I'm like, I'm covered in food. I have to go. And honestly, I don't even know what day that food's from. I don't know. I don't think it was from today. But what does it matter when what we're surrounded in has previously pooped all over itself or whatever?
Yes.
So you're scouring all day.
Yeah.
You're getting splashback of the forbidden waters.
A pound of something I'm washing right now reeks. It's great.
Yes, This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Sommelier for February. I was showing Emily all my spins because I spun up the samples over the weekend. We were very surprised by how white we went this month.
Yeah.
So we don't mean to, last month in January, we don't mean to get matchy-matchy. So I showed you guys last month when we did the lore, I showed you guys a screenshot of the graph or the Excel spreadsheet that we use. And the Excel spreadsheet outlines each of our 11 clubs individually. And all I'm looking at when I'm planning for a club is I just look up column. So I'm just like, okay, they haven't had a CVM. Or you know what? They've had a couple of drapey things in a row. Let's give them something sort of bulky and poofy. Or they've had, this color, make sure we don't do that one again. You know what I mean? But then sometimes the way that lines up down the column, when you look across the bottom and we got a month with 2 of these or 3 of those, I'm like, oh. So it feels a little bit like we get on theme, but we don't. It's just the way, and this will be very evident when we come back next month to do the lore, because it was like a matching set.
Yeah.
This last one, the bats clubs that went out were so funny. I actually ended up taking a big picture. I can't wait to post it when everyone has it. Did you see that picture?
I didn't see that.
Oh my gosh, I took the best picture. So I ended up taking this big picture and I can't wait to post it, but obviously those just went in the, right?
Oh.
I know.
Oh.
And so any combination, because sometimes people are in more than one club. You can't see this.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Okay, so so we kind of it was a little white this month. It was a little white this month. Which we're going to have that, because you know what? I would say in the garage, we have, like I said, a couple hundred fleece out there. More than half are white by a lot. Maybe 60% are white.
60 or 70%.
There's a lot of white sheep. So we're going to have these sommelier months where what we're getting is an absolute ton of white fleece. But anyway, we're here. We're in. Ugh. Let's begin. We are beginning with, let's start with a white one, because we'll intersperse them. Start with butt hair.
Or do you want butt hair or moonrise?
It looks like you're pulling moonrise out of the bag. Here, I'm going to put this over here. Okay, so butt hair this month. You're doing really good.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, butt hair this month. So butt hair, for anybody who isn't familiar with this club, is our fine wool club, named on kind of like a dare, based on another YouTube video. If you don't know any of the lore for Sommelier in general, we did do this once before. This is the second Sommelier video we've ever done. So the one before would have been last month's live lore. And when you're on our YouTube channel, just click live. That's where everything is, because I don't like the pre-recorded stuff. Personally, I find it deeply uncomfortable. So, hi Dion. Okay, so and I'm referencing, and we're openly speaking to this live chat over here. If you're watching this hours after we've posted it, you won't see that maybe right away. We're not crazy though, and just like talking to the side. Like there is a chat happening. It will be visible on YouTube eventually. Okay, here we go. This was butt hair this month. So butt hair is the fine wool club. What we're looking for in butt hair is sort of like, it began with like the fleeces we would stick in our Delightful Advent, like kind of the finer wool, fancier coateds, blah, blah, blah. So we wanted a club that had that stuff. Typically fine wool, typically coated. We can deviate. There's lots of, like, you're never going to get a coated Haunui, but Haunui is going to go in this club. It's a beautiful, clean, fine wool. But I did put in the description that sometimes we're going to put in a really, really nice medium wool should it present itself and be like fancy enough. So this is a Nighthawk Ranch Romney. And some of you may have gotten these in the shop before. You may have seen them. This was in the Great Guts Adventure, the famous day 7 was the Cormo everyone liked, that was red.
Yeah.
This was, we had a lamb version of this in the Great Guts Adventure. And that's what inspired this blend for butt hair this month, because that was a really, really popular blend. So these are coated Romneys from here in British Columbia, not too far from us, just like maybe a couple hours north. And they're stunning. I would say I personally don't have any Romney I like more than these. There's lots of nice Romney out there. These are my favorite Romney. These are nice. Really nice. They're so nice, and they're so clean, and they've got beautiful luster. And this was even a ram, so this would be a slightly, scritchier than what some people have tried if I've put lambs in or something like that. But look at that. Look at that shine. Look at that crazy guy. Also, that's where the camera. That's where you look. Because if you look here, you're looking at yourself. Look at my eyes right here. See my eyes? No, look at my eyes. Where do I look like I'm looking? At the people.
Wow. Learned so many new skills today.
Okay, so yeah, thank you. So this is who we put out to butt hair this month. So Jake is a ram, Nighthawk Ranch in British Columbia. Romney, did I get a lock?
Maybe there's one in the drawer.
We have the locks are like, no, I think I put them all in the two skis.
Oh,
go check the drawer. The Nighthawk Ranch Romney locks are like dinosaur locks. They're like this big. They're like super chonk and beautiful and robust. And we love working with these fleece because they make us look like better fiber processors. I'm just going to put that out there. So, okay, I love Nighthawk Ranch made me fall in love with Romneys, right? Yes. I really like long wools. I really like long wool lambs, and I like long wools, but I almost always love a Romney. Yeah. I think a Romney is a long wool. That's confusing what I just said. Okay. Romney is gateway long wool to me. It's technically long wool, but I wouldn't say it's one of like the intense ones. It's not like a Wensleydale.
No.
Or like a Teeswater.
Yeah.
Or even like a super unbelievably crimpy.
Yeah, it's still different.
BFL.
Like, Gotland and
yes. Stuff. So where was I going with that?
I don't know. I was unsuccessful in finding a lock.
Oh, shoot.
I even checked the bags.
You've probably seen them before. Okay.
They're very cool. They're very cool.
Listen, very pretty. I am eventually going to get really good at doing these lives. Like, for instance, this month, I have 2 photos to show you that I took during prep. I have 2. Wow. Maybe next month. Oh.
Maybe 3.
Oh. I definitely got 2 basket shots on purpose. I was going to tell myself to get all pictures of bats so I could show the people the bat and then show them the spin. I didn't do that. I didn't do that for March. April, we're going to kill it in April. April Sommelier, we're going to be March. We'll take all the pictures of March. We haven't made March yet.
Yeah, but the live will be in April. So the live in April will be great.
We're going to be excellent. Yeah. It's going to be super, super good. Okay, so what to say about these fiber-wise? Beautiful, always consistent, never had a bad fleece from Nighthawk Ranch. Love that they're local. That's a bonus, but literally I would buy this from around the world. Like, that's how good this is. I didn't wash this fleece. Emily Was there anything special about washing this? This was one that was low lanolin for you.
It was super low lanolin. I don't know. I always feel like washing Romneys is nicer than washing other breeds. They always seem to clean up a lot easier.
Like they just drop stuff.
Yeah, everything kind of just falls out. The lanolin doesn't really stick to anything. It just kind of all goes
and
wet.
With the like in contrast to a fleece we're going to show in a minute here, like a down wool, which suds up and bubble like crazy, and they're impossible to wrangle into the bucket.
Yeah,
these guys just get wet and they kind of like relax. They move well. They drop everything. Great fleece if you haven't processed wool before.
Yes,
I would say this would be a good starter. I think we should put this on the list to bring to Fibers West.
Ooh,
raw.
That could be nice.
We're trying to develop our raw wool fleece list to bring to Fibers West.
Maybe we bring some night off.
Okay, we'll put that one on the list. Okay, so that's what we have to say about butt hair this month. This is the first medium wool that's been in butt hair since we started this club up in July 2024 is when we started this club. This is the first time we've had anything that wasn't like an actual fine wool, because it's just so worthy and it's so lovely. And we put it with, I didn't even say that. We put it with 20% Cashgora. I think Romney could go with most like camelids and goat fibers for sure. Like you could throw alpaca, llama, baby camel, mohair, cashmere. No, I don't know if would I put cashmere with one of these?
I probably wouldn't.
I would say Romney would blend with everything for me, but I think a Romney alpaca is maybe about the best.
It's really nice.
I would say that'd be one of the best blends you could stick with Romney. Romney Cashgora though, because Cashgora is a goat fiber. It's a hybrid goat. And it's got a lot of this. It's got like mohair is very almost long wool like. It would almost be a lot like a mimic of this natural base of this wool. Whereas the Cashgora has got like a poof to it. Like it's still got that demi-luster sort of shiny.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Surrey alpaca is to alpaca. Yes. Shiny, almost silky.
Yes.
Is Cashgora to the goats.
Yeah.
Yes?
I feel like I agree with that.
Okay. So that's what we blended it with. It was easy to card. Lore. That's it. There's no other lore to say about this. Honestly, guys, I'm actually struggling to come up. We're going to move on.
Yep.
It's an amazing fleece. Super easy to wash. Unbelievably easy to pick. Stupid easy to card. We cheated. We actually like completely and totally scammed everybody this month by doing a fleece like this because we just it didn't take any of our powers. Yeah. It just went for it. So there's butt hair for this month. Okay.
Stunning.
And remember, I don't generally give I can tell you how it spun for me, not a spinning teacher. So the spin was also easy. What was that?
Next? That's our shop.
What do we even have for sale?
Who knows?
Okay.
What do you want?
Let's go into Moonrise next. We'll just do 2 whites in a row. Okay. So by contrast, another white fleece is... Oh, perfect. Okay. By contrast, another white fleece. So this is what we did for Moonrise this month. So refreshers on Moonrise. Moonrise is our Pure Club. And this one came via request. So we had a lot of people in the community asking us if we could do a pure club, meaning there's nothing in this but the sheep. We're never going to blend it. Month after month, you're going to get a single sheep. We could, I guess, mix 2 sheep together and do mixed flock, but like you're just getting the wool, just straight goods, no blends. You would think that would be an easy club. It's actually not. This is actually a difficult club to do because we test fleeces, we work with them, and I'm always testing the draft on things. And sometimes I want something different in the draft, right? Like I want it to be just a little more grippy or a little less grippy or a little this or a little that. And so I can't fudge these. You know, I can't be like, ooh, you know what this would be really good with? If we just did like a pack, or something that just kind of like gives it a thing or a bit of color or whatever else. You just get the fleece in its pure form. And it's obviously a very popular club. Well, it hasn't been open for super long, but we haven't had one person leave this club since joining. I think we opened it last summer.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, not too long ago. Okay, so this month we did Titania the Second. This is a coated Suffolk from Mystic Rose Farms. Coated Suffolk was the move, because if you get uncoated Suffolk and we carded it up and served it pure, oh yeah, you would see every fleck of VM, every little bit of hay, everything. Like, look at how clean this is. Extremely minimal picking. I do have to say, this is such a spoiler, but of everything that I spun sample-wise, this was my favorite spin. I'm putting it out there right now. And it wanted to just be plump. This one wanted to spin fat. And I find that lately I've been really fighting the fact that my default went from being like a DK spin to being like a fingering weight spin, which is tragic to me because I hate knitting with fingering weight. And this one was like plumpy and just kind of like a little chonky babe. So Titania the Second, coated Suffolk. Suffolk is a down wool. Yeah, look what I have. Look what I brought. This one I'm prepared for. Suffolk is a down wool. So it's that down, I don't even know if it's one of the like official downs or down type. So here we see them a lot as meat sheep. I can get Suffolk pretty much, I can throw a rock at a farm near me and I can get a Suffolk or some blend of it. Having a pure Suffolk and having it coated just felt really special, because that's like generally a Suffolk's wool in my area of the world is a total byproduct. So it's something where it's like they're meat sheep, we're eating them, and therefore their wool, which must be sheared, is being shorn, and that's what you get. So no one's necessarily intention is set towards the fleece being kind of anything like clean and well kept and not this or not that. You know what I mean? So like having someone who's coating a Suffolk is actually pretty special and rare. I would call that really, really rare. Would you like to show them the boink?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Nice and still.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Super springy, super boinky, super, yeah, get it, girl. Get it, girl. Super, super full of air. Tons of every directional crimp going all over the place, everywhere. So what these feel like would be the best possible version of... Is that your timer?
Yep.
Do your thing and then come back and tell us about scouring this sucker.
Okay, amazing.
What you're going to get with... This is going to feel like the very best possible version of like the inside of a pillow. Where that stuff is really scritchy. This has a nice softness to it. It's definitely a medium wool, but there's absolutely zero prickle and zero stab. One thing you'll see in Suffolks are these little black Kemp hairs almost, kind of more towards the britch, but it's like a Suffolk thing. Like you'll see them in there. So if anyone got this club and they're wondering, I wonder if I can show you one in a lock. This one didn't have much of it, but this sheep didn't get into anything. I wonder if you can see, hold on. Right here in this tip, right up there. Oh, you're never going to be able to see. There, right there at the tippy top. Can anyone even see that? Maybe no. There's these funny little short, it's Kemp. It's like a little tiny short guy. Oh, I can't even get him out. That kind of run through the fleece. It's not like a contaminant. It didn't touch anything else. Just, it's like a Suffolk thing. And some Suffolks, that's just how they come. And they've got these funny, because my husband was helping me pick this fleece. And he was like, is this okay? Did it get like in the bag of something? I'm like, no. It's a Suffolk thing. Oh. Shannon is telling us that Suffolks are also piggy eaters. Oh, are they? Every Suffolk I've ever seen has been like a total fatty. Like a sheep that you want to like wrap your arms around and absolutely just squish. Okay, so here's how the roving came out of Titania. Like this. Very boinky, very spongy, even in like the pre-spinning form. Lots of air, super, super light. 10 grams of this versus 10 grams of that Romney. If I had both in my hands, this is going to look like it's twice the amount of wool. It's not. It's just like holding air. Absolute boinky, squishy air. I usually would blend a fiber like this pretty much all the time. It would be it's rare for me, but it's moonrisey of me to not blend this fiber. Uh-oh. Emily!
Yeah!
Your microphone!
I took it off!
Oh, okay. I thought she was scouring in there with her microphone on, and you guys would be hearing her right now launching buckets and water and everything. Okay, so generally I would blend this. I love Suffolks for sweater spins. If I want a really, really light, lofty sweater, which I'm going to show you guys a sweater at the end. Totally not lore, and you don't have to stick around for it. but Melly's actually going to show knits. Believe it or not, she knits. And there's a sheep I have here that's based in down wool, based in Suffolk, that is, or in down wool, Canadian sheep and whatever, that I use to knit a very big burly sweater. But because it's so light and it's so airy, it's by the little homie. Oh, I love that you caught that. But because it's so light and airy, it's perfect for making a nice, cozy, squishy, but not like heavy sweater. Everything just feels, yeah, like you're wearing, I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. But I love these things for a full-on sweater spin. I love them for socks. Love, love, love. Because down wools do not felt. Well, they can, but you have to really try hard. You'd have to really pull out tricks to felt this. So felters could felt it, but like it doesn't lean towards wanting to be felted. There would be more efficient breeds you could grab if that's what you're wanting to do. This, with a little bit of mohair or Cotswold for strength, a little bit of something to make it warm. We did a sock blend based in a down wool last month, and we added bison because it's like heckin' super warm. But even adding anything that like is known to sort of trap heat, be warmer than wool, because toes and feet get cold. And then if you want color, you can add things for color like dyed silks, sari silk if you like a fun little flecky sock. Silk itself is also really strong and great to have on such a highly friction area like a sock is, and rubbing inside. Like all my boys wear Blundstones. And so those are roomy shoes. So if I knit my son a pair of socks, he's really into military history. This is the son I'm going to go visit. He's super into military history. And I found this pattern for these like World War I era socks. And I knit them to spec, and I ended up getting wool from Canada's oldest mill, which is Briggs and Little. And they make a pure wool product that would have been somewhat comparable to what these socks would have been knit out of. And I made these like really like historically accurate fingering weight, because I love my child's socks. And it was great. There was something funky in the blend because the mixture of him maybe having like a little bit, like getting like a sweaty foot and then being inside a boot, it felted the bottom of the sock, which like shrunk it up. So it had this like really long leg and this like little tiny foot. Anyway, and that was a horribly ruined labor of love. So now when I'm making sock blends, I'm really intentional of having like the right elements. We were talking about this on Discord. Was I talking about this on Discord? I think I was talking about this on Discord. So Melly Knits has a Discord, and I'm learning to be better about being in there. But in the channel, we had talked about a sock blend, and it's very much recipe based for me. So, you oftentimes we see superwash merino nylon, 20% nylon. We'll take the nylon out and replace it with 20% Cotswold, or replace it with 20% kid mohair or regular mohair if you want a little bit more strength. There's your strength element. After that, what do you want to do? How much warmer do you want it? Do you not want it any warmer than what this wool is already going to be on your foot? Do you want to add some color, etc.? And you can kind of play around. But the one thing I would talk that being the most important would be that the wool itself doesn't lend itself to felting, or you end up in pain like I was with that sock, or the strength factor, because I've also knit socks in things like, I don't know, just your regular standard average, not hard wearing wool. And again, my husband, within 2 weeks of wearing it, it's got a hole right at the kind of the ball of the foot, like by the big toe. So I don't know, I get kind of specific. Anyway, so for anyone in Moonrise who doesn't want to spin Titania straight up, which by the way, still I need to say it, she was my favorite spin of this month. You could blend her. She would be an incredible base wool to blend with and turn her into something just a little bit different if you wanted. I think it could very well defeat the purpose of the fact that you're in the pure wool club. But I'm just saying, once it leaves me and it goes to you, you could do whatever you want to with any bat you ever get from me. Some people are like, oh no, is Melly going to be offended if I split this bat up that she made with some of this pretty comb top that I have? And I'm like, no, like card it up, have fun. It's out of my hands, and I think people should create. So just putting that out there is maybe if that's inspiring for somebody, if they want to do something with their white down wool. So that was this month. We have seen the carded stuff. Okay, carding Titania, as easy as breathing. I mean, so the only thing that could come up in carding wools like this is if you're grabbing, say, like your kind of average meat sheep down wool and it's just loaded with VM. This is not a breed type that lends itself to like dropping it out because of all that multi-directional crimp, because of that holds on to air poofy quality. It holds on to everything, not just air. So I find that like where the Romney we just looked at will drop, it will release everything that's in it. So the lanolin just comes straight out and the all the dirt and maybe hay comes out, and when you're picking it open, it falls out on my lap. Less likely to get that kind of like effortless clean with a type of wool like this. So if you buy one that does have a lot of VM in it, chances are you're going to have VM in your carded bat. You're going to have VM in your spin. I don't hate that. We've talked about this before on the Melly Knits Lives. I am not anti-VM being in a spin. The fact that, again, oh, there's a black hair. Can you guys see it? There. That's one you can see. That's like a Suffolk thing. Just so everybody knows, if you see that in your Suffolk, there's nothing wrong with your Suffolk. So they just don't lend themselves to dropping everything. But on the same hand, they're typically lower lanolin than most fleece. And here we have cute little Emily back from Switching Her Scour to talk to us about scouring Titania the second.
Oh, okay.
She was sudsy clean.
She was.
You were only 2.
It was only 2, and it was still really intense suds. So she was super clean.
Tell us what you're talking about with the suds.
Oh, okay. When you're washing a fleece, you want to look for, suds. So, like, you know, when you're doing your dishes and then you get that layer of, like, soapy stuff on the top of your water, that's what you're looking for when you're washing a fleece, funnily enough. So when you dump the bucket and you got a whole bunch of suds
But we don't look for suds in the bucket.
No.
We look for them out of the bucket.
Just a good sign to begin with. But then what you want to do is when you're pushing out the water from taking out your whatever you're washing, you want to press on it, and then however many suds comes out means how close you are to being clean. So if you got a whole bunch of suds coming out when you push down on your fleece to wring it out, then you're probably good. But if you got nothing, then you might need to do another round, you know.
Suds check.
Yeah.
So sometimes after 2 scours, we'll pull a fleece out of the bucket, and this is a determinant that we use here when we're scouring. Keeping in mind, you guys have different water. You might not be scouring with Unicorn. So I don't know how, because we're scouring with Unicorn, we tell you this. I don't know how Orvis Paste or Kookaburra or Dawn would behave in these same situations. But for us, with our water temp here and the amount of power scour we're using, when we pull a fleece out of the bucket and we put it down and then we kind of do this, like tighten it up and push, we're watching what's coming out. And if there's no visible, like sudsy, bubbly stuff, we go back in for another scour. The only place that gets tricky for us is some long wools don't suds.
Yeah, so it really depends on the fleece. But a chonker like
Titania,
like the Suffolk would, it would expose
itself.
Soapy,
it's not,
it was ridiculous.
No secrets. It's letting us know that it's done.
Yeah,
it was just, that was it. It was out and it was clean.
Mm-hmm.
But the suds trick, that's a big one for us. If you are here and you don't scour and you want to know more about what I'm talking about, I have a scour YouTube video. It's called Scour. Could be time to update it at this point because I think I did that one like 4 years ago, 3 years. I don't even know. It was a while ago. The principles would remain on our methods. But one of the things I talk about in that video is the importance of measuring. I have negotiables and non-negotiables in scouring, things that you can absolutely negotiate, right? Like there's factors there. We won't get into it here because this is not for that. But, and some things we do not negotiate on. And one of them for me is I do not negotiate with measuring my wool and measuring my soap. I don't care about how much water, but I care about I do enough to submerge the fleece and it's got like enough water. But like the real big one is I have a pound of wool and I have a tablespoon or 2 of soap. And that's how we're able to scour a fleece and know by something like the pressing of the bubbles that what we're looking at. Because it's not mystical. It's not like we're out here just like vibing with washing the wool. Like we've done this enough and we've got the measurement down that I'm like, okay, that was a 1 tablespoon second scour. and it's giving me no bubbles, like that's a greasy little sucker. We got to go back in again. Or sometimes you did your 1 tablespoon second scour and it's so soapy that she'll actually be worried she blew out the fleece or hurt the fleece. Like, but there's no way it's only going to need 1 scour.
No.
I mean, some of them do.
It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
So anyway, when we're talking about checking for suds, that's what we're talking about. Very, very measurable experience for us. And then that way, and now we even know from experience of washing those long wools that do not suds as much, that just because they're not sudsing, but it's a long wool, it's probably a liar, we should probably move on because you don't want to overscour a Wensleydale or that's it. You're never getting that sucker open. You've just made dull hair. So, okay, next fleece.
What do you want?
You dealer's choice.
Oh, dealer's choice. Okay. Then you just
Firefly? Oh, pictures for this one. Okay. Finally, I have one that I did prepare for, knowing that I was coming on here to do live eventually. Okay, Firefly. Okay, Firefly. Here's what we did this month for Firefly. It looks like this. She's so pretty. So Firefly, for a reminder, is an any all club. This month they got a chaos. But previous to this, they hadn't had a chaos in a good long while. And we mixed it with Red Airy and Sari. 5% Sari went super far in this because I think it was the Sari we used, was the straight chunks one. Yeah. And then 5% Red Airy silk. It's naturally Red Airy, so it's actually more of like an orange color. Do you want to grab the Red Airy?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Which would act like a toner color-wise. Wouldn't be like a strong injection of color, but would also lend itself to silk in a draft. I love primitives. So this is the primitive. This is Shetland. I love primitives with silk. I always do. I would even like an Icelandic just with silk. I love how they spin. I love how they move.
Icelandic and silk is nice.
Look how pretty that is, though. Isn't that a gorgeous, gorgeous babe? So this is a fine wool Shetland, meaning it had less of its sort of primitive, even looking nature. It didn't have some of that maybe kind of Shetland shape you can see in the dual coated ones. This was more of a downy, soft one all the way around. Show them Red Airy. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hold up the pile. Hold up that. It's glorious.
Beautiful.
That's what Red Airy looks like. It exits the worm in that color. Isn't that insane? Look out for that, though, when you're purchasing Airy silk, because sometimes they're dyeing them to enhance the redness. Make sure it says naturally Red Airy silk. Super cool. Super cool. So that's 5% of that is in here, which is going to be lending itself to the warmth of this fleece. And then this is a fine wool Shetland. So I love my fine wool primitives. I generally don't find Shetland to be super stabby, but they can be. You can get because Shetlands are quite varied. This one just happened to be more of that like downy type. So we got this from, look, it says Frine Shetland from Valley View Farms, USA. It's not a Frine Shetland. It is a fine Shetland update. Okay. So this was from Two Sheep, Sweet Esmeralda Sweet Esmeralda, Jenny. Wow, I didn't type this right. Sweet Esmeralda, Jenny is how she had it spelled, like JENN-AY, like Jenny. I had very Forrest Gump in my head when I saw that, and Joven. And the reason why there's 3 in here, why this would be mixed flock Valley View, is Shetlands are little tiny friends. They're just little weeny baby guys. So they throw these smaller fleece. On average, if you're getting like a 3-pound Shetland, that's a pretty decent sized Shetland. So to make enough for everybody in the club to get the same thing, we have to use multiple Shetlands. I would say pretty low lanolin from this flock. Like we didn't have a ton of losses. I will also say pretty heavy VM from this flock. So this one made an enormous mess in the wool room. It was.
Yeah. There were some dirt piles.
There were some big dirt piles. And I think when I was picking it too, I drew a little heart in it.
Yes.
I did. Yeah. So coming from Washington too, it's going to be like a climate like what we have here. It's probably going to be like muddy or whatever else. I would say prep wise, I had to pull out some tricks for this one. So it turns out beautifully and it's an absolutely beautiful spin and it's gorgeous soft wool, but there was maybe more effort on our part to sort of like show that or like reclaim it from the earth, if that makes sense. So sometimes fleece make us pull out our tricks. So when we just talked about the Romney, we talked about Titania. We just, like Jake and Titania, made us no tricks. No tricks.
No.
We opened the bag. We scoured the wool. It's like, oh, 2 scours? Yeah, totally done. Obviously done. I'm going to let you know I've had enough, Emily. Thank you very much. And then they dry and then they just pick right open and they're super clean. You card them easy. A fleece like this, these guys caused us a bit more work. So there was more labor on our end to get this to the beautiful spin that it is. So beautiful wool. It's got good bones. It just had a couple of quirks to it that had to be worked through. So this is this fleece had a rise. So that would be when the Shetland would begin to like rue, you know, and you get that little area. But then it was also shorn. I think the rise is what created all that texture we had to pull out. And they were a little cotted.
Yeah.
The tops of them, some of the tops, some areas of them, just because the fineness of the fleece too, I think they just got a little cotted. So we had some stuff that we took care of, and now we have a beautiful little fleece. I do not have a sample of this, but you know what I did do? Because I'm prepared. Look, I took a picture of it. What? I don't think I've ever taken a picture of a sommelier bat in my life. So that is what this looked like before it went out like this. Different lighting, clearly. Whoa. Oh yeah, I got warm light setting on this so that me and Emily don't look like ghosts. And then this is what we looked like when we were packing it up. So we, as we've spoken of before, we do 2 passes on the big homies, which are the giant carders on either side of us right now. And then we'll do a 1 pass through on a little homie. And that's our final refinement and our sizing. So we would get a big stack, way bigger than that. We have about 4 or 5 stacks like that. Yeah. And then we get to wrapping the bat. So you can see the Melly Knit spin cards are there. The locks are out. Tape is all ordered on the one side. The tissue or whatever we use the 100% recycled whatever. Not tissue anymore. Now we're crepe paper. We didn't use tissue. Now we use paper. Which will henceforth be known as Peppa. So we're using paper. And we just we have our strings, which we know where the strings come from. They're generally local. Local wool we'll buy from farmers, and we mean no disrespect. But we chop it all up and use it to tie up our bats because it's like totally natural, all wool. And so we'll get stacks like this on this board, and we'll just start wrapping. We'll wrap up the whole club. I took a picture of it. Because I was like, sommelier lore is going to need some actual lore and not just our faces, or up until like half an hour before this thing started, where I'm like, you scoured everything. You should be on this live lore. I thought it was just going to be my face. So I try to have some content. Anyway, that's all I got from this one. Washing. Black water.
Yeah, like jet black water. Which, honestly, okay, whenever you're washing a fleece, you always get a different color of water on the first dump off the bucket, and it's genuinely my favorite thing, is seeing the different soil colors of where the sheep have come from.
Arizona,
that's so exciting for me.
Every time we get a fleece from Arizona, it's red.
Red water, yeah.
Oregon's are always kind of greeny brown.
Yes.
Why?
And then, I don't know.
And this one was like black.
Then you get the jet black ones sometimes, and those ones are my favorite ones to wash. Doesn't matter what the fleece is, but if that water is dumping out black the first run, incredible wash every time. Because you know that you're getting that stuff out.
Sorry.
Okay.
No,
I was reading.
I know. I'm squirrel.
Yeah.
Hamster meets squirrel on the line.
With this one, when you've got a fleece with more VM in it, lots of it will float up to the top, which almost makes picking easier because then you can scoop out a lot of it from the top layer of the water, which is always really great. I enjoy doing that. It's fun. But some people might think that's gross.
Did you ever think when you came to work here that you would be a professional like pond scum?
No.
And
but that
smells?
Honestly was always my dream job as a child. I just
was
didn't
to
know
work
about
with
it.
pond scum.
I really like small bodies of water. I think
you work with extremely small bodies of water every day.
Very localized.
And did you say right now you're scouring a sheep that smells bad?
I'm washing 4 different things right now. I got a random assortment that's going. I don't know. It's not. Well, actually, I can't say anything out loud because all of them are for sommelier. So
all of them are for sommelier. We have a stinker for sommelier next month.
Oh, that's not true. There's some random little like
What if it's that Swedish
pounds
Varmland?
left over.
No,
Maybe
I
it's
bet that sleeve
I
smells
don't
like
know.
it stink. Okay.
Mm.
So this was Firefly this month. Fine wool Shetland. We love an intersect between a primitive becoming fine. I have yet to find a fine wool Icelandic. I don't think that exists. But we have had fine wool Jacobs that come out of here. Those sleeves are glorious. And fine wool Shetland. What a spin. What a yarn. Like super soft, super squishy, but super soft in like the softest form of a medium or the coarsest form of a fine. Mush that into your neck. Okay, Ninja Tofu. I got a 4-pound Weather Shetland. I reweighed it when I got home because I didn't believe it was 4 pounds, but it was. Really? A 4-pounder?
That's amazing.
Dang, I want a chunky Shetland like that. Dion, it would be really cool if you took some of the locks you save up and make mystery bats. We do. They're called Tuskis. And we take drum scrapings from the big drum only, never the liquors, and lots of the leftover locks we've got because we count up more than we need, and we make these mystery bats every month. Well, not every month. No. Every time the bag gets full. Yeah. We collect up the extra locks and we go for it. Okay, so that was your Shetland. We're moving right along.
Beautiful.
We're killing it. We are killing it. All right, so that's it for the bat clubs. So in our sommelier this month, we have 3 bat clubs. The clubs, just to remind everybody, alternate month to month. So this month, we're looking at Butt Hair Firefly Moonrise. Next month, we're going to look at Origins, Blossom, Jiggly Butt. You know what I mean? So like that's what we looked at last month because they alternate. These are every other month is when these clubs go out. So we're now looking at evens, not odds. Evens and odds.
Mm-hmm.
Odd months are Origins, Blossom, Jiggly Butt. Evens are Firefly, right? Because we're in February, which is a 2.
Yeah.
Evens and odds.
I understand now.
Shirts and skins. Okay. So that's it. So each one has 3 carded bat clubs. That's what we have found right now is a really comfy zone for us in making stuff in this room. There is a new girl, Naomi, who started to work for us. If she didn't have another job that actually pays her better, she would be here more because she loves it here. Mm-hmm. And boy, did we get a lot of bats done having her more often in January. Yeah, I miss her. So right now she's here about once a week and she just exclusively runs, specifically that Carter. She's picked a favorite Carter. So she runs the little homie, not the chromie homie. And
everybody's favorite Carter,
right. And then we could up the game. But right now, 3 full bat clubs is enough work for you and me for the beginning part of a month with still having other things to do. Right. But anyway, that's the 3 bats. Now we're getting on to guts clubs. Let's do guts too. Okay, so guts clubs are washed wool clubs. So we have not carded them for you. We have washed the wool and we have placed it in a baggie with things most times to mix into it. And you pick it and you blend it yourself at home. Drum carder, combs, hand cards, whatever you've got, spinning from the cloud, spinning from the lock, it's all up to you. Our job is to get it clean, get a blend that we think would be beautiful, and then get it out to you. So typically, these are less costly. Not typically. These are less costly than the bats because we've removed our picking and carding labor from them. And but they're always really lovely. So we did this month. Hold on, I'm going to show you this first, okay? Because can you hold that for me? Yeah, thank you. It's so slippery. This is the lock for guts too. Look at the next to my face for scale. Ooh, I have a big face next to that lock. You have a little face. Look at the lock next to cute little Emily's little face. What a beaut. Mm-hmm. What a beaut. Anyone have any guesses? It's technically another primitive. It's not one that people commonly think of when they think of primitives. It's kind of silky, I would say. That has a silkiness to it. Yeah. But it's fluffy. Mm-hmm. So already we're getting into melly bait big time. Love the little taper. Love the little pretty waffly little S curl. Kind of crimpy that it's got going on. It's gorgeous. Okay. Emily's undoing the roving. Anybody want to take a stab at it? I'm in a sommelier club. No. Am I excitedly watching anyways? Yes. Hi, Imogen. Imogen, everybody who's here, who's not in a sommelier club, has picked like 6 of the fleece I'm looking at right now above my head over here. So we have pickers. We have a network of pickers that will come and get wool and take them away and pick them. I would say Imogen right now is like picker number 1. Mm-hmm. Holy MVP picker. Every week there's like fleece back. I'm like, what? Already? I love this. Okay, here. This is what the carded bat looked like, or the carded roving. So you see how it's still got a lot of body to it? Texture to it. Not texture nep. Texture like when you run your hand down this, you can feel... frizzy isn't the right word. What's the word I'm looking for? Like it's not smooth. Like the Romney is smooth. Right. This has a good like fun drape to it, and it's super cloudy, but there's like frizzy. I don't have a good word. I'm
lost on this one. Okay.
I don't have a good word. See it? Can you see the little? You know what? We didn't need that word anyway. We didn't even need that word. Okay, that's what the roving looked like. Here's your yarn. I will reveal. Here's what the yarn looked like. This is what I spun. Long draw. Ooh, I'm hiding it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's just go. Let's just talk about this. This, for Guts 2 this month, everybody got fin sheep. Fin sheep with 10 grams of Tussa silk from Point of View Farms in the United States. Gorgeous fins. Holy moly. I love me a fluffy fin. I do. Sometimes fins can feel a little long woolly, and sometimes fins can feel a little primitive-y, and sometimes fins can feel like right in the middle, and this one feels like a right in the middle to me. So what we ended up blending this one with was silk, which is what I was grabbing. If you're here from the beginning, when you guys first came in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta grab the silk. I think these were the colors. Em?
Yeah.
Is this the purple and blue we stuck in that fin?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, sorry anyone who heard me turn the water on. My bad.
Oh, you didn't take your microphone off?
Forgot.
Okay, so we ended up grabbing 5 grams each of these 2 colors of silk that went with this color of fleece. Just 10% into a fleece this color. It's an interesting move. And some people had questions. When they opened this up, they were like, huh? With this? I'm a blonde, both by nature and by nurture. And one of the things that my stylist does when I'm pulling a little warmth in the blonde is she purple shampoos me or blue shampoos me. And what it does is counteracts warm tones in fleece. Look what happened here. Same fleece, same colors. One is decidedly cooler, still brown, still beautiful, comes out a bit cool. Now, why would I do that? This is gorgeous. We love a nutty brown fleece. Absolutely love it. I don't know, because we can, and it's fun to see what silk and colors do, and these clubs are about exploration. So we did it. So we kind of, because you don't really look at this and go, oh, it's so purple and blue. Like that's not what's jumping out when you look at this or when you look at this. The first thing we're seeing is not blue and purple silk in wool. We're just seeing, I can see little tufts of it and little moments of it, but it's so beautifully embedded into this fleece. Like there's a section here that I can see. I feel like I can see a little bit more of the purples and the blues kind of coming through. Oh, you got a fin sheep and Guts for me. Guts Club, like this fin sheep or a different... Did I have fin? I did. I had fin in the Guts for the shop update too. We love a fin sheep. Okay, last update. Yeah. Yes, those were beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So in the case of this one, we could have gone any way we wanted to with color. I could have put a really, really warm alpaca in here. We could have leaned into the red and like kind of coffee and toffee tones and all that kind of stuff for sure. But toning it was just fun to see how it came out. It iced it up but it didn't turn it purple. I think that's so cool. I think that's really, really cool. So that's why it's kind of fun to show you this one in phases, because then you guys can get a real idea of the power of using dyed silks and colored silks, not just to achieve color, but maybe to tone or alter the color that's already there. Okay, point in case, if you get a really, really yoked fleece. So let's say you buy a fleece online and it shows up and it's yellow and you've washed it and like yoking happens. Not everybody's up for a buttery white though. What do? I mean, to counteract the yellow, purples and blues, just a touch, just a little. You can even dye it by making like the weakest dye bath ever with a little bit of purple in there, and you would totally start neutralizing those yellow and those warm tones. I love warm tones. I myself am a fall. I literally live in oranges and reds and mossy pond scummy greens and like all those kind of good warm colors. But I just think it's a part of the exploration that we're doing, and especially in the guts clubs, to get to take something and try and experiment and explore. I'm a huge lover of experimentation in wool. And that's frustratingly for some of you who've come into my DMs and you're like, Melly, can this go with this? I'm like, make a 10-gram sample. Try it and see what happens. Giselle, I have purple shampoo for my dog's white bits, right? When the dog whites get like that amber color in their eyes and stuff. That's right. Okay, so that's what we did. Finn sheep, I'm bound to love it because, again, primitives, like my first favorite tier of wools that I get to spin and knit with. By choice, that's what I always lean towards, just preference, just rules of attraction. Those are the fleece I go for. Next to down wools, actually, which always come up second for me. It's funny because I do love me a good fine wool. I appreciate that soft, buttery, am I even touching anything quality to a down wool, to a fine wool. But when I'm knitting, and long wools are kind of last for me. I like them. And there are some out there that are exceptional. We've talked about them on here and in these spaces, and I put them in my shop. I just think I'm more specific or picky in that one regard, whereas I'm really, really broadly in love with primitives, all of them. 40 micron hair shirt primitive, absolutely I'm down, right? Whereas I might filter as I come down to being a little bit more specific and snobby about other breed types that I work with. So what the heck was I just saying? Emily, we need you.
Coming.
I was just talking about something.
You were talking about something?
Loving primitives. Oh, okay. So typically I'm going to lean myself towards loving this fin sheep. I'm going to absolutely adore it because of what it is. When I'm using words like frizzy, I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that I just don't know what the positive word is to describe that look. The not smooth, air dried hair, like that kind of, like whatever the positive word is for not smooth.
They're crinkly.
It's not
crimpy.
That's not crimpy or crinkly.
No, that's not the right
This
words.
looks. See, and the first thing that came to mind was damaged, but that's not a good word either. This looks damaged. No, but
like yeah,
like if someone over bleaches their hair and it gets that look.
Yeah,
but like in a good way,
in the best way, in the best way possible.
I don't know. That's what I like.
Whatever that good word.
That's
is.
what engages me when I'm working with wool. Okay. Washing the fin sheep. We washed like 10 fins in a row.
Yeah.
Remember? Fin after fin after fin, because we're washing for guts. So when we wash for guts, again, and fins are small sheep, when halo-y, fuzzy, wuzzy. Frizzy is descriptive. Say textured. Textured makes me think neps.
Yeah.
If I say textured, immediately I think it's neppy or chunky textured in wool. Like anytime you talk about wool and it's like, oh, it's texture, then I feel like we get I'm thinking chunky, neppy, lumpy. This isn't. This is smooth, but like electrocuted.
Yes, electrocuted. I feel like that works.
Like it just went
that.
Yeah. Which is frizzy, but there's no better. There's
like
no halo-y. Anyway, that's why I'm struggling to find this word, Dion, because I'm like, it is textured, 100%. This is textured. But then if I say textured in wool, I think neps. Mm-hmm. So, Dion, you need to take this back to the wool and spinning community. That's where the technical sprec gets figured out, is that wool and spinning community.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did podcast with Dion. Hi, Dion.
That's right.
Yeah, from Wool and Spinning. She's with Rachel Smith and Rebecca, and
That's a great episode.
and it's like we'll get into the lingo of things, and it's awesome. So if you guys lingo it out, let me know what's a good word for frizzy. But that's whatever that word is what I love in wool and what I'm naturally drawn to and attracted to when I'm looking at fleece. Washing these. So we ended up, as a rule with guts, we always wash way more fleece than we know we actually need volume-wise. Because with our guts clubs, we need curb appeal. We need a certain amount of curb appeal. Do we sometimes send out fleece where it's like not the greatest curb appeal, but we personally know how well it's going to process? Yes, absolutely. But typically, I'd say we're looking for fleece where you get the bag of wool, you open it up, and you go, oh, wow. Oh, that's so pretty. But like not all fleece do that.
No.
Sometimes they're uggos, major uggos on the tray. But we know once you card those out and blend them, it's beautiful and it's a gorgeous spin. We actually pin this thought, folks, if you're back here next month. We did send a fleece out this month. You know what I'm talking about?
You're going to have to finish your sentence before I know.
We sent a guts out this month that I don't think has curb appeal, but the carded sample was magnificent. But I struggled with it because I was like, ooh, it's a tiny more VM than we would normally send out. Yeah. Maybe a bit more to pick open.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're trying to handhold or baby the Guts Club people, but also like it's nice.
Yeah.
You're in this club to literally have like a fun little amount where you can explore and play with. And I don't always want to, or I don't necessarily want to send like challenge, right? Or something where you open the bag up and you just go, ugh, like what the heck, Melly? That one needed the light of day. I feel like that one needed an extra night. I had a bad night's sleep. So we wash tons more and we know what kind of breeds betray us most commonly. Yeah. So the ones that will look really good raw and then you wash them and then you're like, oh, what happened? You were so pretty. And they just get weird going through the tub and going onto the trays. Finn is one of those. Icelandic does that too.
Definitely
oh my gosh, we have to wash. If we want to put Icelandic in a club, we have to wash every Icelandic we have and then go through just to get the bits that we feel are good enough to go out to the clubs. Even though the rest is going to go in the shop, it is good enough. It's like we're just looking for like a visual curb appeal. So we washed so many Finns. That's why we had Finn in Guts last month in the update, and we had 2 or 3 different, that pond scum we had, the big mega bat that was green, we had a lot of Finn last month because we washed for Guts too. We washed like 12 of these fleece, and so then we got the Guts 2 fleece done, the bags done, and then ended up going Guts next of the prettiest parts of the Finns for the shop update, and the rest we carded and put out into the shop. That would be a little lore for you guys on sort of the way we'll work through things, knowing, like we have a couple of like fleece downstairs right now that we're washing for clubs that we're just going to wash the one fleece, 7-8 pounds. Yeah. We know we're fine. We don't have to wash it back up. Not for Finns and not for Icelandics, but always long wools. Those are beautiful no matter what.
They really are.
You know, I could sort of crap on long wools a lot. I can. I like them though. You know I like them.
Yeah.
I like certain ones. But boy, do those things always look gorgeous coming out of the tub. They are the most visually attractive fleece ever for a Guts Club. Always. And raw?
Always stunning.
Unbelievably pretty.
Always stunning raw.
Always stunning. I just never ever want to pick one open.
Always wonderful to wash too.
And we just sent that super curly monster BFL, the Saskatchewan BFL, home with Imogen. That was a mean thing we did to you, Imogen.
I didn't take any part of it.
But I was like, oh, we could just send that one out. Because I do like BFL. I want to reap the benefits of BFL. I don't want to pick the BFL.
It's a really pretty BFL.
I feel like Laura is also acting as like exposure.
It is a little bit today.
Okay, so this is the Guts 2. Did I even put this up? I did. No, I did. Guts 2, I think I did.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't.
Now, so it doesn't
Guts 2 is an any all uncarded club. So like Origins and Firefly are our any all carded clubs. That was impossible to say. Guts 2 and Guts 1, which we saw last month, are our any all uncarded clubs. And we call that product Guts. And that's what we did for Guts this month. Imogen, evil. Have you picked it yet though? What if you like it? We have one picker who picks for us. She's not too far away. All she wants is the long wools. She loves picking the long wools. And I think that is the most mental thing I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so anyway, just kidding. Excited. Woohoo for big fleas. See, this is why Imogen's crazy. I keep passing her like these like chunkin'. The ones I gave her this time were like huge suckers. And we're so excited. And we're so excited to have amazing hand-picked wool always in our shop. Okay. For anyone wondering why we have such a network of hand picking, that's where we bottleneck. That's the clog for Melly Knits. We have 4 carders we can card, and we can scour without taking a break. We can do 16 pounds in a day. Easy. We've done 24. We've done more. Like we've done so many pounds in a day. We can do it day after day after day, especially in the summer when we've got the sunshine to dry everything really fast. We can just barrel through hundreds of pounds in a month. Picking them, though, is a bottleneck because it's so slow and we're so meticulous and you're so like lock by lock by lock. Imogen's in the chat. She can vouch for this. It's like one lock at a time half the time. And so that's where we bottleneck. So besides me who picks, Emily doesn't pick.
I knew you were going to say
to
that
her
at some
shame
point in this live.
My husband picks. My daughter picks. Emily doesn't pick.
I do pick. I just don't have a lot of time to pick.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
That is absolutely a lie. True. You lied to the whole internet.
I'm not lying. There are some things I like
picking more than others. Tomorrow.
You know what?
You don't want to.
You pick.
I'm going to Europe. So, and I do pick. I pick everything.
You do.
Okay, 2 weeks ago, right before the shop update, all I did was, look at you're going a little red. I called you out online. I did was sat on the floor for an entire week straight, and all I did was pick wool.
I don't hate picking. I just don't like it as much as you do. I enjoy picking just certain fleece. Not all of them are fun. Some of them are a little too dirty for me.
You just like doing dishes more than me. So I let you do all the dishes, you know? Like, that's...
Why don't we switch picking and washing for a week?
No. I'll pick you one. I'll pick. I'll sit in one spot and pick, and you can haul huge, heavy buckets. I take it all back. I love that Emily does my thing. Okay. 8 hours a day in the same room together every day is showing.
It is.
Yeah, I like this. This is a good dynamic. Okay. Let's go. Because normally it's me just riffing on the chat.
It's true.
You wouldn't know. You never watch these.
It's true. I watch some of them.
Let's go.
I try and watch all of them. Sometimes
I'm like, damn, you never do this. Oh, fart noise. Okay. So next up, we're going to look at Guts 4. Guts 4 also came via request. We're very open and susceptible to requests in the clubs. Guts 4 came from request, where we had these Guts clubs, Guts 1 and Guts 2 that were any all. We had Guts 3, which is our Chaos Guts clubs. You're always going to get Sorry Silk. And there was like, I want a fine wool Guts club. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's free. Are you kidding me? Because fine coated wools are just always perfect. So it's like, we never worry about betrayal. We never have to wash 10 of them. Like, you just know. You just know. So Guts 4 just had a birthday. They had a birthday in January. And for birthdays, we make speed dates. That's what we've done in all of our clubs. This is the last club of what we had at the time, because we did open a new club since, but whatever, the same month. This is the last club for our first birthday, because all of our other clubs last year had their birthdays and they all got speed dates. And then we did a speed date card. Would you grab one? And then, so this was Guts 4's birthday speed date. Happy anniversary speed date is what we called it.
Yes.
So we based it in Bond, as it is the Fine Wool Club. Isn't Bond just perfect? Don't we just love Bond? Here it is. Guts 4, Fine Fancy Uncarded Club, anniversary speed date, based in Bond from Shiloh Wool. These are sometimes in the shop. These are almost always, actually, that's not true. Every year, 3 years of Delightful, all 3 years has had a Shiloh Bond. I absolutely love these fleece. Always lovely to work with. Always so clean. They're not coated or anything, but they're from Australia, and typically a lot of the fleece you get from there is clean. Like, we've had some really dirty ones, but for the most part, and just beautiful. You just get this gorgeous shine, and it's such a great fine wool. It's not fussy. Bond is so easygoing. Bond is like the most easygoing of the fine wools.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. You can treat and handle this like that Nighthawk Romney or like Titania the Suffolk. It just is like, okay, sure, whatever. What are we doing, guys? I'm up for anything. Like, it's just totally that way. So basing a speed date in Bond, we've done it before. I think we did a Bond speed date for
Is the
Guts
Blossom
3.
or Guts 3?
Yeah, something like that. Someone else got a Bond speed date, but it wasn't these Bonds. It was our other Bonds. Really great and a good option for the Guts because we knew it was going to be pretty and have curve appeal. Look at it. I mean, look at it. But also we sort of played a little, I deviated a little in the blend. That's not going to make sense till I explain it. So if you're new to a speed date, rate your dates. So this is what the card that comes with every single speed date. So your date is, in this case, Bond is the pure blob that you're going to get. And then you're going to meet blonde. You're going to meet Bond 50% with some other breed of animal, sheep, whatever it may be. And then you rate. How did you feel about it? Did you meh? Did you like? Did you love? You know, these are your options. And then you can make little notes. The point of a speed date is to think like that with them. So typically, as a maker, you wouldn't want people to come back and be like, it was okay. But like for a speed date, I actually do want to know. The one that was like just okay.
It's true.
And the one that was a little bit more meh for you. And the one that you were like, oh my gosh, I loved this one. Mm-hmm. It's literally the point of these sets. It's exactly what they're for. We don't like intentionally put anything in there that we don't love. But again, speaking through preference, because I'm going to tell you guys my favorite, and for any Guts 4s out there that have done this, you might be like, really, Melly? That was not my favorite. My favorite was this one. That one was meh for me by comparison of them all. You could also have love, 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 love straight down the line. Like, I love that for you. But come on, it's got to be at least one just like.
Be brutal.
Be horridly aggressive. Yeah. No. So that's how speed dates work. These are sets we've been making for a while. We started these out early Melly Knits days. We refined them size-wise slightly to make them work with the fixed pricing in the clubs. And we said they go out in some, not all, shop updates. They're a little more labor-intensive. Mm-hmm. They're a lot more labor-intensive. A lot more. They're like making a day of Advent. Like a lot of wrapping, a lot of packaging, a lot of labeling, a lot of thinking, a lot of arranging. I'd like to have them be different colors, and you're thinking about, so generally when we're making a speed date, it's like you've got your fine wool, your primitives, your downs, your camelid, or you could use a goat, you know, if you wanted to instead of the camelid, and long wool. 5 categories. We have 5 things happening here, 4 plus 1. So typically if I'm doing a long wool up here, then I would go fine, primitive, camelid, down. And then you can kind of try them all mixed up. We did a little different this time. Not bad, just not a lot different. Just deviated slightly because I was curious myself. So here's what we did for the speed date. So our first dater, which you already know, is the Bond. So here's what it looked like. See what I mean? It had a lot of white wool this time around. That's what the Bond looked like. Bond, lovingly known as the fine wool with work boots on, super easy going, fun to card, lovely soft wool, but there is something hardy to it. There's something not fragile while still being fine wool about Bond. And I just love it for all those reasons. Here's what my spin looked like, and here's what I wrote. The bio. Start here. This is what the bag will say when you get a speed date. Start here. Meet Bond, trustworthy, dependable, and steady. This easygoing gal is up for just about anything. Each dater will bring out a different side of her, but who will be the best? Only you can decide. So we do these little daters bios for the Bond, and now we're going to meet the Bond, having dated in the 50-50 matches with other wool. Let's go in order from lightest to darkest. Lightest first, okay. Which I think would be Meg.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Moon Dance. Mm-hmm. This was the deviation.
This is bougie.
So this is bougie. So already Bond is a fine wool. I wouldn't say it's your typical fine wool. Merino is a typical fine wool. Like you kind of know what you're getting with merino. So we took a fleece named Moon Dance, who was in our shop update because we didn't need very much for this. So we carded up the rest of her. This is a Stites Off merino, beautiful coated merinos out of Montana. We love Stites Off. You've seen them around here if you've been with us for a while. And we did bond with Moon Dance. So she was, I could have shown you what she was because we had her in the shop. I did have more data that I could show the people. I could have at least they could get, I mean, we all have imaginations, right?
She was pretty.
She was super pretty. What? That's her.
Yeah, that's definitely her.
This isn't going to work. Nope, that didn't work.
No. Can you plug it in now?
No.
I don't know how this works.
It's going to be funky if I try and do that. Here, hold this. We'll tempt it. We're going to tempt it. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
You all just went away. Oh no. You all just went away again. No, it's going to be a butt. It's going to be a butt. We can't do this. We got to keep going. Okay. Anyway, it was a beautiful light camel colored fleece. Gorgeous texture. I didn't save a lock because we used every last bit of it in the shop. And I didn't think about doing that until it was too late. So this is where I deviated because generally bond is a fine wool. I wouldn't mix it with another fine wool. I would have grabbed a different category. But this is the fine wool club for starters. So coated, etc. kind of fleece. And I really wanted to know bond and merino together because while both being fine, they are very different wools. Again, the merino, some merino has work boots on, not this one. This one was very soft, very pillowy, very floof, very light and airy. And then putting it with a slightly denser bond. I mean, what a combo. This carded up like butter. It feels super good. Love the feel. Wasn't my favorite spin of the batch.
Which is so crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I know your favorite spin of the batch.
She thinks my favorite was crazy. I swear I'm not being provocative. This wasn't my favorite spin. What do you want, a rinse or a scour?
I'm going into a rinse. So
you have to get it out?
Yeah, I have to
shoot.
get it out,
Okay.
like right now. Take your
on microphone. Next one would be Meg.
Yep. There you go.
Okay, Meg. This is Meg. This is what she looked like with the bond. So Meg is a coated Jacob from Doherty Ranch Jacobs. And again, Doherty Ranch is around. We've had it in like 2 of our advents. We've had it in the shop. I believe there was Doherty. Yeah, Cora May was in the shop last month for the January shop update. Love Me, a fine wool primitive. And these are the perfect example of that. There's an entire 2 days or day in my Advent lore from this last year where we talk a lot about these. So if you're new here today and you have no idea what I'm talking about with the fine wool Jacob and you want to kind of know, because I didn't save a lock, what she looks like, I swear guys, April. We're on for April. I'm going to have all the things to be so prepared for April's lore. You can go back and reference those. So all of my lives, except for last month's lore, I'm just realizing, have show notes where you can kind of click down and go for timestamps. So Fine Wool Jacob appeared in 2 of our advents and we talked about them at length. We showed pictures of the sheep. We talked about the breeding. We talked about the care and the quality. We talked about what the wool's like and how to wash it and how to card it, all kinds of things. So if you are interested in that, go find my lore that has the Jacob in it and knock yourself out. So that's what we're going to talk about. So here's Meg, the fine wool Jacob. So right away, compared to my friend Moon Dance, you know what? I'm going to use Emily's seat. There's where we're at currently with our speed date. Isn't that pretty? I love how speed date colors come out. So this was our taupey camel, and this one clearly was more of a gray fleece, and then our pure white bond. So that's where we're at currently in the speed date. Fine merino, fine Jacob, both coated. Okay, next. The next one they got. Oh, this is Jersey. Jersey is from On the Brink alpacas. I typically am going to do a not sheep animal. Look at that color. Wouldn't that have been nice with that fin if I decided not to tone purple? Look at that color. I mean, alpaca. I mean, what? I mean, come on. Beautiful, gorgeous. This is what it did with the bond. See, I should have had a lock like this for every day, for every one of these. Melissa, do better. Okay, that's what it looked like. Blended into the fleece, 50% alpaca. I mean, I don't even have to describe to you that this feels like feeling nothing. 50% alpaca into a bond. I love it so much. I love it so much. Color-wise, this one wins for me. This is my color. Wasn't my favorite spin. Oh, neither was Meg. These still wasn't my favorite. I loved it. Wasn't my favorite. You know what I meant to tell you guys when we were talking about the fin? Spinning that fin. No matter what I did, when I was spinning my fin sample for Guts 2, that sucker would not spin any other way than like the finest single possible. And I tried to have it not do that. Couldn't get it. Where Titania, the suffix, spun fat, that fin was like determined to be thread. I'm like, what the heck, man? I was thinking about that because this alpaca wanted to be kind of skinny too. I got her fat. I was trying to get them all to be somewhat within the same range, you know, so they could like be a thing. And I'm thinking we achieved a DK across the board on all of these so far. So Pure Bond, Moondance the Merino, Meg the Fine Wool Jacob, and on the brink, Jersey Alpaca. Gorgeous, yes, so far. Yes, we love. Oh, favorite color that nature makes right there. And last but not least, and also my favorite spin. I'm shocked. I was shocked by this one. Is, especially since how I've been talking this entire live, this was the most incredible draft. Holy moly. Okay, this is Karina. This is a Gotland lamb from L&R Farms, who L&R is to me for long wools, what like Nighthawk Ranch is for my Romney, where I'm like, I know there's lots out there that are awesome, but I personally don't like any more than I like that, you know. For long wools, I just love the L&R flock. Like L&R, and actually Robin knows this, made me like long wool more than I liked long wool. That's how much I love these sheep. And I think she's about to sell soon. So you guys should keep an eye out if you don't follow her on Instagram and you want to get in on this magic. So this is Karina. This is a Gotland lamb. Lamb, look at the length on that sucker. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. That is like the craziest, huge thing that I've seen. So absolutely love this. Gorgeous lock. Oh, it's so pretty. So we blended this 50-50 with the fine. I love Gotland. Look, good. Representation for the long wools. Wow. Okay. So in the shop, we'll put these things called Melly Specials. And these are where I take 50% fine wool and 50% long wool and I mush them together. And this was a blend whose origins came out of spite because I had been at a wool show. I had bought this beautiful Cotswold winter chicken dinner of a local fair, gorgeous fleece named Popcorn from a local maker. Oh my gosh, this was so pretty. And I had this like, I was so excited when I saw that took the grand champion because it's an auction. And I'm like, well, no one's going to fight me for this because most hand spinners look at Cotswold as a weaver's fleece or they think it's this or they think it's that. Anyway, I got it. No one did bid. I was the only bid, which is a shame. This fleece was so gorgeous. And I remember this woman when I was checking out asking me what I was going to do with it. And I go, you know, I kind of think I'd like to see it blended with fine wool. Just in the moment, what came to my head, oh, you can't do that, she says. I mean, maybe if you cut it, but even then. And I just remember being like, challenge accepted, like out of, as I call it, my spite blend. So I was like, nah, there's no rules like that. We can blend whatever we want to with wherever we want to. Might not have your desired result, but you can blend. I can do whatever I want. And I kind of got that, like it was this funny little moment where I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do it. And so I blended this huge, long, gorgeous Cotswold with like the finest Rupert's Merino I had on hand. Went on to have an entire yarn line done at a local mill in a 50-50. Went on to like create it over and over and over again in like all these different mixtures of fine wool, long wools, fine wool, long wools. And I absolutely loved it. And it was Melody, who's just right here, who just came in, who called it the Melly Special for the very first time. It's the Melly Special. We're talking about the Melly Special. OMG, you're still on the live. Hi. Where else would I be? It's not like I'm packing to go to Europe tomorrow. It's okay. It's still early.
Mostly packed.
I'm mostly packed. DJ, what did you say? Because of you, I did a fine long wool blend and it was absolutely amazing to spin. Right? Every time I do it, it is good. I'm like, ha! To that poor, probably super nice lady who just thinks there's rules with wool, and that's not a crime. But she was wrong. So it's my spike blend. And so anyway, so this was my favorite. Am I maybe a little biased because the Melly Specials? You know what? No, this just spun the best. For what I'm looking for in a draft. You didn't spin it.
I know I didn't spin it. I just don't believe you.
But your face is... I want to tell your face to shut up because that's what. But I won't because I love.
Shut up on the internet.
Because I love your face,
wow.
So I'm not going to tell your face to shut up on the internet. Okay, so this was the lineup, and if I had to go with what our speed date card says, with my love, like, and meh, I sound like I'm trying to be that girl. I'm not. I swear, I'm not trying to be that girl. This was my least. I wouldn't call it a meh. But this wasn't, I really liked how it carded and I liked how it spun. It didn't speak to my soul. This was fantastic. Meg, the fine wool Jacob.
Oh, makes sense.
Oh, so good. I mean, it's alpaca. It's 50% alpaca. You just know that's going to spin good. And held in the bond. Wow. Stunning. Best draft. Because I did them all in sequence, all in front of the TV. And it was just this, like, so I didn't move. I just did one after the other because these are only 10 gram samples, right? Like I just do that. That's really fun.
Oh, do you remember anyone ever been to those like adventure parks when you're a kid, like the Great Escape, and then you go through the thingies? That's what that feels like.
That was like 10 years ago for you. The rest of us probably don't remember that.
Oh, well, I don't know if they were always
our play parks. I'm generalizing the demographic of who's watching this, and we still had dangerous metal slides.
We had the dangerous metal slides too. It was just, you go to
and the merry-go-rounds that would knock your knees out. Okay, I'm just kidding. That's very good. It's very new. It's very noodly.
Like the little noodles.
It's very noodly.
The ones you punch.
Just getting to this. This wasn't the easiest to pick or card, but drafting this, it does a fun melt thing. So I'm a long draw drafter. So whenever I'm speaking about what I love in a draft, take that. If you've ever done long draw, it is a different experience than the inchworming kind of technique. I ended up having an inchworm, like short forward, or I think I did continuous back on the fin for guts too, because that sucker was like skinny and it was coming out so that I turned down my uptake on my wheel and I was just like, stop, like, because I'm always not, I don't want a fingering weight yarn. It just wanted to be that way. I don't know, man. This was the perfect long draw. It was so good. And I was just like, oh, I could spin this for hours. I could spin this all day. I love this. Whereas some others require a little bit more management. I'm docking points for management for me. Other people love to manage their draft. I don't. So whenever I'm talking about like a hitter for me, like a melly bait, it's ones where I'm just like, and I can just be like laser focused. I think I was watching Interstellar with my son-in-law and we're just like, it's like a good emotional scene and I'm just sitting there just ripping away on this long draw and it's perfect and I love it. But look how perfect it is. It's the most perfectly spun.
It is very perfect. It is very beautiful.
Is it the softest? No, it is but not the softest. Soft. These two are the softest. These two are stupidly soft.
Also 50% off.
Okay. What are we all saying? I know what you mean, Emily. Ha ha ha. That's how I'm ha ha ha. Talking about burning your bum, right? Burning your bum. Or if you got like what was the burn between like sticky skin and like sticky slide, and you get like that weird like rug burn on a slide.
Oh,
there's a name. There's got to be a name for that. Over asphalt, right? Or like those shards of like, what were those? Wood, like Sliver Central. I love how we're talking about this. I have Gotland and Bond. I might need to try that out. Yeah, soft schmoft for sure. Try that out, would ya? Gotland Bond. I just talked to the Boston Spinners Guild last week, and someone on there is processing a Gotland and wondering they were going to spin it in the grease and some other things we were talking about. But I right away, I was like, oh, you've got a Gotland? Oh, you know what you should do? You should, and I gave them like a little sneaky peek of what I had done. Like, you should make your own spike blend. Because you're not supposed to. Anyway, that's what. Why am I petty like that? I don't know. That's so horrible of me. No. I should be more generous and not petty.
Being petty is more fun, though.
Okay, so that's what Butt Guts got. Guts for their anniversary speed date based in Bond. And the only real difference that I didn't do, which I would typically do, is I didn't use a down wool. Instead, I did fine on fine with the merino bond. And you know what? I'm happy with that. I'm okay with I will live with my decisions. All right. One club left to talk about, and then we got to go. And then we have to go. I also need the wool for this. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thanks. Oh, I like having her here. Oh, I like having cute little Emily here for the lives.
I'm gonna help her. Wow.
Hey, how was washing that bond? Or all bonds?
Oh,
you get nervous sometimes around bonds.
I do. I get nervous around all fine wools because those are the only ones left that I still have a chance of screwing up.
But you don't get nervous around. We don't get nervous around alpaca.
Like a little.
The fine wool Jacobs.
So that was fine.
What about the Gotland lamb?
Oh, actually, that's true. Super long wools, I do get nervous washing as well because the second you do something wrong, that whole thing is turning into a ball and you're never going to get it apart. So,
yeah. The fine wools are going to come out and get you.
Yeah.
Okay. Last but not least, we opened a new club in January. Again, this one came out of requests. And speaking of requests, before we get into this final club, you guys want to see some fun data? We currently have 220 people waiting on the wait list for our clubs. And I only say that number because I think I should probably turn off the wait list. I think we should probably turn it off.
I mean, probably. We have that many people.
Probably should have turned that off 100 people ago. But I just went on there today to get this and saw how many, because it's self-managed now. And I was like, shoot. Because, it's going to take a little bit. It's going to take a little bit to get there. Okay. Oh, Imogen, I got to show that comment afterwards. Okay, so this is fun, though, because I'm on a Google Doc, and people are signing up for clubs, and it's tracking what clubs they're signing up for. Do we not find that interesting? I mean, Butt Hair Jiggly Butt having the most. Well, actually, that's not true. Origins and Firefly have the most. The Any All clubs. This shows me that the people waiting have a sense of adventure. Because you don't know. Last month I gave Origins the long wool of all long wools. We did like a trio of like long wools.
Also means they trust us to make decisions for them.
Because we keep it variety, we keep it moving, right? So, and Firefly, I don't know why we didn't do it this month so much, or last month. No, it was December. It was December's Origins that was hardcore long wool.
Right. Yeah.
It was, yes. Firefly last month was when we just showed them the fin.
Yeah.
But I would say typically Firefly is where, I don't know why, I have a thing with Firefly where I'll be like, oh, it might be kind of weird. Let's try this. And I'll throw that into Firefly. Maybe it'll be awesome. Maybe it won't. I don't know. So we've got a lot of interesting weights here. The least of all being Guts 3. Also interesting. We talked about this last month. That club has our highest turnover. If I'm going to get anyone dropping a Guts club, they're dropping at a Guts 3. And I wonder if it's cleaning Sorry Silk off a drum, because that is hardcore. We actually almost only use Big Homie now, this one over here, just for our chaos, because trying to get every little fleck of Sorry Silk gunk out of the carder, if you want to go into a pure fleece,
painful.
And then the next thing you know, you've got little, no matter how much you clean it, there's little bits and chunks that come up in, and these are big carders to clean. They take a long time to clean. So anyway, we've taken to cheating and using kind of this one does not Sorry Silk bats and this one does just Sorry Silk bats, which is Sari Silk Bats is a very popular club. Like, look what Blossom's doing over here. It's our third most weighted for club over Moonrise the Pure. They're all close, but like people love their Chaos Bats. We have a huge amount of like followers for Chaos Bats, but they don't want to card them. They don't want to card them. Look, it didn't even get a percentage on the wedge. Anyway, I thought that this was pretty interesting. It could also be skewed data because Origins Firefly, Butt Hair, Jiggly Butt, we're talking to either or of those clubs. Do you know what I'm saying? Because they're kind of the same club. Moonrise and Blossom being just a single club. Or maybe that's not. I don't know. I love data. It's interesting to see what people like or what people are after. So does it change anything? No, but I like the little pie chart. That's all. I like the graph. Okay, not represented well on that graph was Nude. And that was the club that we just opened. Oh, I had a graphic for Nude. That green one Marina did. I could have showed them. I'm terrible at this. I'm going to get better.
Totally, yeah.
Was Nude, which is a raw wool club. This was something we've been thinking about doing for a bit, but we didn't actually go for it because I haven't sold raw wool in a club format before. And I was like, okay, so like, how much would I send people? How do I reasonably charge for that when there's so much variety in price per pound? And like my value add is so different than when I take it all the way through to a bat, because like I might have the most expensive fleece. It was $40, $50, $60 a pound. Sometimes they're 70 or 80 by the time they get to us here in Canada, a pound. But they're effortless to wash and pick and card. And so we get hours of labor back in those areas, even though we spent more, or they don't lose as much in the tubs. Whereas I could get a $10 a pound fleece, a $15 a pound fleece that's going to lose 35, 40% in the tub, be filled with VM, be an absolute butt cheek on the carder, be harder to pick open. And so there builds labor. And for us, the majority of what the pricing that goes into the bat is our labor. Look what the child is doing. Oh, you're picking.
I was waiting for you to know. So I did it unconsciously. No, I did it unconsciously. I was just waiting for that.
You're
see,
picking.
I do pick.
You're picking. Okay. So
this is enjoyable. This is excellent.
It is excellent. I loved picking that. Okay, so we have a lot of variables due to labor costs in our bats, even in our guts, because we're washing it. We're picking out certain kinds of fleeces, etc. I was like, man, how do I price out a raw wool club? Like, I agonize over pricing for everything all the time.
Yes.
And I need it to make sense to me, and I need it to be fair to both us and you, and I need it to be wait, we're gonna let this one come up on screen. Hold on.
Oh, thanks, Imogen. Wow.
I can't tell your face to shut up anymore. Okay, so smug face. So I agonized a little bit over the raw wool thing. And I had a couple of people in DMs who talked it through customer-wise on the buying side. Because I'm like, man, like sometimes I'm picking up wool. It's not common, but for like, I think the cheapest wool I get at this moment is probably $15 a pound US. It's $20 Canadian. A lot of even our Canadians have put the prices up. 15, 20.
It was 15 Canadian though, when we were like,
who was 15 Canadian?
Really excited. I can't remember. It's been too long.
Maybe it was Ranger Road Acres.
Maybe.
Oh, I love those fleece.
It was something really
okay,
good,
whatever.
Yeah.
All I have to say is we skirt when we get here. We're selective about what goes in the bag. We package it and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, but I also don't want to go too low and then not be able to give anybody a merino, you know, at one point if they want to try scouring that. So that was something I had to really think about and work out, and playing with those law of averages across a year's worth of clubs. But not everybody stays for a year. And I don't know, like I had this whole thing where I went down this like rabbit hole, and then it was sizing. What's like worth it to get the soap out for? And to me, that's going to be a very different volume amount than it might be for someone else. And then to put in like, well, what's the function of the club? Is it to scour a whole fleece? No. Anybody joining this club is wanting to scour in the same way we spin bats in this club or work with guts in these clubs. You're not getting a sweater quantity. You're trying something. So I was like, okay. Try size. Like a bat, a 115 gram bag, we went for half a pound. We went for half a pound of wool because, again, that also gives me wiggle room because of what we're trying to achieve at the end is a bat's worth of wool, let's say. Some fleece are going to lose 11%, like this one did. We're going to talk about that. Other fleece are going to lose 40. And again, I can't, so I went with a nice big chonky margin. But I'll tell you this was my hardest club to launch, not for like labor reasons as much. We weigh it. We bagged up. Oh my gosh, for anyone in this club, how cute. I wish I had one. They're so cute. I wrapped them just like bats because we got these special, I got the perfect right size bag. Had to figure out how we were going to package things and ship things, but we're still wrapping them in the tissue with the little string and putting the Melly Knits card and the little tag on it. But then when you open it up, it's like a squished Ziploc bag with half a pound of wool inside. But it ships nicely. That was another thing I had to think is, how am I shipping this? How is this going out with a shop update? How is it going to package? Because like when we have to package speed dates, it's a nightmare. Emily refuses to package the speed date orders.
Not true. Not true. I just
leave them for me.
You just leave them
for me, and you pack everything else because they're unruly and they have edges, and you have to. And if you're trying to pack a speed date for Guts 4, but they're also in, like another club, and you can't get them in the usual bag. We can get 2 clubs. It's a whole thing. So
speed date on its own, easy peasy. Speed date with something else, less easy.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I did agonize, and I had somebody, as I do always for everything, when it comes down to what's like the right price for everybody involved. Like it's never what could I get, because there's people out there, lots of other, there's other available raw wool sellers who will sell you a whole fleece or half fleece who are like 3 times the price of what I'm going to do or more. And there's other people who are going to be way less. Also, what's my rule on like, if a shepherd sells this wool themselves, do I still sell it? Is that weird? I think I don't want to do that in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll focus on local shepherds who don't sell online. You can't really get their wool any other way. But for the clubs, I think I could put anything I want to in there. I think I could kind of just grab half a pound of whatever fleece looks good to me and get that out to the nude club. I do have in mind a second nude club called Exhibitionist? Nude and nudist.
Yes.
Too hard to say. Anyway, maybe. But I'm still getting my bearings on the Raw Wool Club, which has been good for us to do because we are going to start offering raw wool at our in-person shows.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's good for us. It's good. It's just that normally I buy raw wool and like it's very precious to me because I need to keep a nice, big, huge supply here because we go through so many fleece in a month. So to just buy the raw wool and then put it back out, I also don't love to like resell. And so that's a harder, like mentally for me, whereas lots of people resell or they broker wool or whatever it is. And it's like awesome for them. I'm a manufacturer. That's what I am. I make things. I don't get other people's things and sell them. So I have to really mentally wrap my brain around this, or I'm going on about this too long. I'm talking too much about this. I'm bringing them into the experience, but it wasn't great. So I should just not bring them in.
I think you're agonizing over this now.
I have.
Yeah.
I've sufficiently explained my duress. Anyway, we landed on a price. We landed on a packaging system. We landed on the parameters around like what I'm going to put in these clubs, etc. And then we shipped out nude.
Mm-hmm.
Different size fleeces too, because half a pound. We couldn't have this club be as big as other clubs.
No.
Because we couldn't do half a pound for 20 people.
No.
Where are we finding an averagely 10-pound fleece where all 10 pounds are good enough to go in the club?
Yeah,
That's also not a thing.
No.
You have to really go through these fleece to get the good parts like we do for Guts, but on the raw wool side that go into the fleece because it's never just all the good parts. Anyway, oh my gosh.
It's about a month of deliberation.
That's what we came with. This, okay, guys? This is called a Headwaters. And if you're in this club and you have never heard of this and you tried Googling it and you couldn't find it, it's because it exists one place in the world. Headwaters comes from New Zealand, from Melford Hills Farms. And here's what I wrote on the tag. I said, everyone in this club can now claim to be among the first in the world to hand process this breed. Because up until now, it was just me. So Headwaters comes from Harriet of Haunui Wool's uncle. And he has a ranch nearby hers. And about 2 years ago, I was still over in the old wool room. Harriet from Haunui Wool messages me and she goes, hey, would you want to try some of this Headwaters? So what Headwaters is this is coming off of sheep that have been bred to be very, very high in omega-3s. They're meat sheep. It's expensive meat over there. And this is the wool that comes off. Isn't that pretty? Look at that luster. Look at that pearl. Look at that mother of pearl. So, but then her uncle shears, because he has to for the health of the sheep, bales up the wool, and it goes out for carpet wool in New Zealand. Me and Erin laughed so hard when this carpet. So, okay, not the whole story. Harriet goes over to her uncle's farm and like literally starts, like she calls it plucking fleece from the baler. She like dumpster dived into a baler and grabbed me a big bag of this wool and she shipped it over. And she was like, it's not really like a big, it's kind of this like wool here. See what you think. But it's interesting because you'd be the first person in the world to ever hand process it that goes out for like carpet. It arrives and me and Erin laughed so hard because this is New Zealand's like meh nothing wool, really? Because I'm like, maybe it's just where we are in the world. This is nice wool. Like this feels nice. This is softer than a lot of what I can access locally. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, so we were just laughing because if I came across this here in British Columbia, I would be bowled over. This would like everybody would be like, "What?" Like it's super gorgeous, and I just love that over there. It's like, oh, it's just carpet wool. No one cares. I'll just go grab some trash from the baler for you. So anyway, so I had Headwaters in the shop like 2-ish years ago, maybe more. There's still a picture way down on my feed of all these mixed bats, and David is sort of there. There's David. Right here, my man. He's sort of in it amongst the fleece in front of a carter and whatever. It was this cute little moment. And then I didn't have any more until Harriet mailed me last fall like a monster box of Headwaters. Huge amount of wool. And there's more coming because her uncle's shearing again soon. And this time it's even better because the uncle actually set aside a couple of sheep. And this is, you gotta imagine, thousands of sheep. They have thousands of sheep, okay? These ranches, they're hundreds, if not thousands. So, and they come out and get everybody sheared. So to hold like 5 back to wait till they get a little longer for the handcraft crazies in Canada is like pretty spectacular. It's pretty spectacular. Anyways, they're going to be sheared shortly, but they wanted to get a bit more length on them. So there's a couple sheep waiting for us, guys, for the Melly Knits community. They're going to come over and just be a bit, I mean, I thought this is a beautiful long staple. I am perfectly happy. So what we've been doing today for Gage, next to my big face, I'm perfectly happy with the length of this. So qualities of this, definitely given off long wool, reminds me of Perrindale. If you've ever spun Perrindale, this reminds me of that. Texture-wise, the level of softness, I love a good Perrindale. This has me thinking of Perrindale. And it's very light and lofty, very open crimp. There's nothing dense about it. It's got a demi-luster, as you can see in the spin, more than you can see in the lock. Kind of fluffy. Like not necessarily like together. Like it's not intent. It's not trying to be stuck to itself. It's kind of like open. Really love working with it. Really easy to work with. Lost 11% in my tub. Right, Allie B? It is so pretty. 11% in my tub. 11? Hear me. 11. 11%. That means all of you people who got into this club, because I put 225 grams on here, but I did more. It's more probably closer to 250. Means you lost like 25 grams. So you're probably, so I had 250 that I started with. And when I weighed it out, I called Emily. I'm like, did we measure wrong? Did I start with more and not realize I'd started with more? Like, it's all here. No, it's accurate. It just lost very, very little in the tub. Picked, as you can see, Emily picking, beautifully, carded beautifully. I will say, for anyone who got into this club, medium wool, wouldn't call that coarse. Like, how this is my spot. It feels softer carded and spun than it does in the washed wool. which I thought was interesting because that's not always, sometimes when you get the spin in it, it feels coarser. Nope. It somehow is softer. I was surprised. The bat was really soft. The bat was the softest stage of this wool. Anyway, that's what we did in the first month of the Nude Club. And so the people in this club, you can literally say, because aside from me, the people in Nude are the first people in the world to hand process and hand spin this wool. It goes out for carpet wool. out into the world. And over here in Canada, I'm like, it's so pretty. I love it. I want it all. So there's more coming. I still have a ton left in the garage. Like, she really sent me a lot. And I love that about Harriet. I love that she's like, hey, so here's this weird thing. You want to try it? I'm like, yeah. and now we've got all this beautiful wool coming. Okay, so that is it. There was a comment I wanted to look at here. Imogen, who's picking for us right now, is picking a Gotland lamb at the moment. Pure heaven, and she loves it. That's weird. So maybe you won't, maybe, did I give you that BFL? I did. Did I? Yeah, you have the BFL. Maybe you'll love the BFL. Maybe my whole job just got easier. Okay. We desire the weird stuff. Oh, this is interesting from Dion. Cleaning off sari silk doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me on that Carter. But on that Carter, it does bother me. It's a whole arse butt cheek to clean off of those big Carters. But I agree. I don't mind cleaning off the little one. Okay, love this comment. I'll be honest. I don't always use the sari silk with my Guts 3 wool. Good. When it leaves my house, it's yours. You can do whatever you want with it. And if you don't always use the sari silk, don't. Mix it with something else. But I do find it's interesting to me that the Guts 3 club is the turnover club because the Guts bats have a cult following. So I'm like, so what? The only thing I can think of that's different there is carding it. So, because people love their Guts bats. But maybe the people who love textured sparkly bats don't have carders. I don't know. Like, what can we infer from this data? Okay. Haven't carded my headwaters yet. Can't wait to try. Allie, I can't wait for you to try. DH, I want some, right? It's good stuff. So pretty. How was it to scour, water temperature, etc.? Normal, 100% normal. So typically we've talked about the New Zealand fleece and needing to up. Oh, did we? Let me just confirm. Hold on. Please enjoy my pants. M? Oh, never mind. Wow, she really picked a lot of this. That went fast. I can ask Emily when she comes back in. I don't think she had the kettle out for this. I think she just washed it. Hey, Em?
Yeah.
Did you use a kettle for headwaters or no? Did you do a regular temp? Because it's a New Zealand wool, and normally we put the kettle in with New Zealand's. Did you?
I did do the kettle.
You did do the kettle?
I did do the kettle. I definitely did the kettle. It was kettle and 2 scours.
Because this was the same day that you were scouring that monster merino, right? You had the kettle out that whole day. Okay, yeah. Kettle and 2 scours. So that means she'd fill the bucket, she'd top them off with the kettles to take the water from 145 to more like a 170. And then that's what, or higher, 170, 175 to scour this, because she just scoured the sample for us. So she did have the water a little hotter, which is our rule for anything from New Zealand. We get the water hotter, and she did 2 scours is what she did. Okay. Imogen, it's a bond that I have, I think. Didn't I give you 3? Massive VME bond it is. Those are very VME bonds. Okay. A little tangent. What was your thought process when you created Diabolical in the last update? Oh, okay. My thought process for Diabolical, just quick, because this isn't Sommelier lore. Diabolical in the last update, for anyone who isn't familiar, who didn't see that, I took a whole bunch of Airy Silk Cashmere blend, like 30% or something, or even higher, which is high for me to put into anything. Then mixed it with Nui Milton Merino that I had lock washed. I did not bucket wash that fleece. My thought process was the Nui Milton Merino is extremely precious in that it's super hard to wash. It is so fine. They say 13 to 15 microns, but like 13, like it's super fine. It's so fine, it's almost pointless because like it's difficult to wash it without having without looking like you overhandled it, even if you don't. It's just that fine. I sent some as a sample to a friend in Alberta, and they did like a soap. They did that Mary or whatever that method is, where you do the little bar of soap, one lock at a time. I'm never going to do all that. Anyway, I had this precious little amount that I had done in like lingerie bags and laid flat in a sink in a single layer and blah, blah, blah. And I'd done this Nui Milton. And I thought, how do I do this justice, but also make it so incredibly mean and unkind to whoever is processing it? Hence the name diabolical. It's diabolical. And so I had this beautiful cashmere airy silk from Sanjo Silk, which is a local provider to us. And I was like, you know what? Copious amounts of that. That is how I came up with that blend and then called it diabolical. That's where the thought process came from. I have a ton of raw Nui Milton in the garage. Oof. I'm even like, oh, okay. Like it just needs, I think it might just need a processor that isn't me, because I love my lingerie bags and buckets 1 pound at a time. And this fleece doesn't want that. This fleece needs some intense TLC and care. I was hoping whoever bought the diabolical guts in the shop was going to comb it, was my thinking. Comb that out, carding that. If you'd have to have the right carder. But I put out in the listing what exactly it was. So I figured whoever bought that was going to know that they had the equipment to be able to process it. So like it was a very unusual mix for me. It was super splashy. Everything in it is like unbelievably fine. It's going to be it's going to be a diabolical little bag of guts to process. Did you get that one? Did you get it? There was one. I made a bag of that. I'm like, this isn't for the masses. This is like unkind. So curious. Okay. Anyway, that was the deal with diabolical. That's what we did. I've never had a diabolical ever, anything like that I've put out for guts, because generally I'm always thinking of my people with their 72 TPIs, and this is not a 72 TPI. Well, I mean, it won't be smooth, but it could be. Anyway, so that was oh, you did. Oh. And how are you liking it? Like, I put that it was 13 to 15 microns and that it was that 60-30 airy cashmere blend with it. Like, this is a whole prep. I would be moving at a snail's pace on these carders. I would be like holding my breath. Like, don't look at it. Don't look at it. I actually had a friend come over the other day. I had like a little bit left, maybe like 60 grams. And we mixed it with cashmere again and a bit of sari silk. And we carded it up on these and it made the most beautiful bat. She's doing like a hot water bottle for a friend going through chemo and she wanted like the softest thing possible. I'm like, well, do I have the fleece for you? No prickle at all, right? But she's hating her life spinning it. It's just too diabolical. It's an unfriendly spinning experience. So I think that's really funny. I think I'm probably going to invest in superfine combs. Yeah. I mean, or it's a one-off. You could like not double down if you don't plan on processing things that are this fine always. And you could just let this one do what it's going to do on your carder, and, unless you want superfine combs, but yeah. Okay. That's what that was. That was the thought process behind that. That was a whole lot. Okay, so that's it for sommelier lore. That's all that I've got left.
Oh, I missed Chris.
But Chris got the diabolical guts. And is asking what was the thought process behind that? Well, I was like, but I had my mean face on. Mm-hmm. I was a little bit like, ooh, that's gonna be so challenging. I think even someone else on here was like, I got a message, I think it was Melody, think it was Melody messaged me on Instagram. She's like, diabolical. Like it was, because she had read what was in it. It was a little intense bag of guts. A lot intense. Okay, so I am officially done Sommelier lore. If you're here just for Sommelier lore, it's been lovely having you. We will not be talking about Sommelier lore anymore. But since I'm here and I don't plan on doing any other kind of topical YouTubing until next month's Sommelier, I did want to show you guys some finished knits. So if you'd like to stay to see what I've knit, because Melly does indeed knit all the time. I've actually been on this tangent the last 2 weeks to try and put them on my Ravelry, because my Ravelry's got like 3 projects on it. And I've been knitting since I was 13. And I've got like stuff in my closet that I knit 15 years ago and more. And I'm knitting socks every week. And I've got all these things I knit, but I don't, look at this. I read Diabolical and quickly exited. Anyway, so this is something I do all the time and I never show. I'm going to show you. I'm going to see if I can turn up this light though. Better? Oh, we're going to be super blind.
Wow.
But I feel like it's getting dark out, and so we're getting all this light, and we're starting to look like the ghouls from Fallout.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so here's the thing. I want to show you guys. Eventually, these will all appear on Instagram. I never post my knitting on Instagram either. I posted Katie's knitting the other day.
You did. That was a good post.
This is a Sophie shawl that I knit in hand spun. That's never happened to me before. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to knit with my hand spun, but I have to take all the purpose out of it. I have to pretend I'm never going to wear it. It's not for me and I don't care. Mm-hmm. Then I can knit with my hand spun. I have a little mental block going on. So this was a wool that I spun during the Tour de Fleece. This year, it was gifted to me by my friend Melody from Pacific Coaster Fibers. And it's a blend of wool that she hand processed, plain. Nope. Yep. And then wool that she blended with some sticklebats from Inglenook Fibers, and then just the leftover sticklebats from Inglenook Fibers. So I had plain, beautiful brown Corriedale, I think it was Hubbard Ranch maybe, and then I had a mixed, and then I had just these green sticklebats, and the one in the middle was a mix. And I spun them as a 3-ply. But the sticklebats themselves were gradiented, and so we got a bit of a gradiented shawl here, as you can see. Garter stitch, used up every last bit of the spin. Super happy with it. Very cute. Not necessarily my color. Probably going out with someone else. Because it's quite limey. But I did it. I knit with my hand spun with the most brainless amount of project possible. My Sophie. I was very pleased with that. I'm going to keep the Sophie knit. I loved knitting the Sophie. That was like, there was absolutely no thought in my mind, nothing in my head. But I have determined that if I ever knit one of these again, I'd like to do the hood. You have to have very interesting yarn, because I feel like without the interest in the yarn, if it was just plain yarn, I wouldn't like it as much. It would look kind of mass produced, I guess. I don't know. It would have that kind of look. Because I was seeing some Sophie hood projects that people had done. I had a whole bunch of knitting for olive merino. And I looked up projects online. I just didn't love how it looked with the garter stitch. But this, I absolutely love. Interesting yarn. So maybe I'll just make Sophies and give them away and knit up all my hand spun. Maybe I'll just do that. I just did the thing. Someone said online to put just a little pin to track every 3 rows to do your increase row or something. And I mean, gosh, guys, I didn't have a thought in my head. There wasn't a thought in this head. I just knit this thing with no thoughts in this head. So that's one of my finished objects that I finished since I started trying to whip down. This babe is the Allure Cami. Look at her. I've knit so many of these Allure Camis before because I love them. I think I might have knit this one just a little too small. Nope, that's not true. I knit it my size and then I grew since I knit it, because it sat it as a frog state forever. Literally went from a 34-inch bust to a 37 since I knit this. So it's okay. We're loving it. We're loving life. So this is my 4th one of these that I've knit. I am a picky knitter. I'm going to just tell you right out loud. Picky knitter. I have a very specific criteria that I'm looking for in a knitting project. This one meets it, and they're cute as a button on me. Maybe this one won't be, though. This one's probably going to be too tight. I'm going to be busting out.
I don't think so.
We just reblocked it. Emily was here the other day, and I'm like, I got to stretch this thing. I got to stretch it. So maybe now we'll be fine. But, and I can't go try it on for you, but you could just imagine the Allure cami. So cute. And another one of these brainless knits. And I did this in fingering weight, which I do hate, but it is a fingering weight garment. This was done in a Cormo-based wool from the Small Bird Workshop. She was local to us, no longer produces yarns, hasn't for quite some time, but I loved the color. That is a me color.
It's a very you color.
So we finished knitting this. 10-10 will actually knit again. I keep knitting these things. This I just finished for my son that I'm going to see tomorrow. No, I won't see him tomorrow. I land there tomorrow. I won't see him till the next day.
Days, yeah.
This is a dream knit for me. So I knit quite a few Lopa Pesas. That's the bottom up Lopi Icelandic sweaters. I started knitting this when I went away on this retreat 2 weeks ago. I cast on, and every retreater there, every time they'd walk up and like touch the sweater, like, ugh, because it's made out of Icelandic wool. And so it feels like a hair shirt. They break in. I have my Lopi that I knit, I don't know, 8 years ago. And if you feel that sweater next to this sweater, they feel like they're different fiber types.
Mm-hmm.
Would you not say?
Yeah.
It breaks in. And I kept saying that to people, and they're like, ain't no way that's going to break into anything I could wear. It breaks in. It breaks in. All those tog hairs, maybe you can see them. See all the sticky uppies? Wait, if I get a good edge. Nope, that's worse. That's worse. Okay, there's all these hairs. This is the long part of an Icelandic lock. And you can't see that. Those tog hairs, and you have your downy, super soft fell that's weighted at the base of your lock on an Icelandic. And when you card those two coats together and you spin a single, you get Lopi. You can only call it Lopi, technically, if it's from Icelandic wool. Otherwise, it's Lopi style. It's like champagne or whatever. Sparkling white wine. Same kind of idea, okay? Look at how much that's my color. Look at the difference between this, me, and gray. I warmed right up.
That sweater would look really good on you.
This sweater would look amazing on me. Yes, look at this thing. It's so beautiful. Okay, so I went to my local yarn store, Valley Yarn. I grabbed the Istex, Let Lopi. I've knit a bunch of these. I love knitting these. I know they're bottom up and we're supposed to not love these. Everyone wants top down. I love bottom up construction. I really, really do. Because I'm starting here, right? We're way down here. This is where we start. And I get to have this little delicious taste of color work. And I knit up till I get to, armpit zone. Then cast on a sleeve. And again, knit all the way up, just following some gentle increases. And then get to a point where you attach everything together and you start doing this. And so the grand finale is like the most fun color work, getting smaller as you go. So like finishing, I did a tubular bind off. I would never have done tubular bind off if I was on hundreds of stitches, but I was on like 70 stitches. So I'm like, I'll tubular bind off all day long. Look how beautiful that bind off is.
It's really pretty.
Don't talk to me, bro, when I'm doing tubular bind off. No one can speak. And I say every step out loud the entire time that I'm doing it. But I did it. What is this question? Also, the colors of Wyatt's sweater, absolutely perfect. Thank you, right. Beatrice. Right. Thank you. Absolutely perfect. The orange was actually a suggestion from the wonderful woman that owns Valley Yarn, because I was going for their more like burnt orange. I was going to keep it like just a little less contrasted, kind of like how the green and the blue is. And then she was like, it'll be fun. And she swapped out my kind of more muted orange for the bright orange. Apricot, I think it's called. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So I was racing for my life to finish this because this has to be in my suitcase tomorrow. And this is his birthday present. Because it's not been broken in, I bought him a merino underlayer to wear at first. When he was in high school and much smaller, he would steal my Lopa Pesa all the time and wear it around. He doesn't get bothered by the scratchy wool, but mine was more broken in. I also didn't knit the full collar that the pattern would ask for. This is the Jeff, Gjof. Joff? Jolf? I don't know. I don't know how to say that.
I feel like it's probably Jeff.
Could you wear that?
I couldn't.
No, you couldn't do it.
No, this would kill me. But it's so gorgeous, though. I'd want to wear it, but I'm not a...
You're a very small person. Look at you, swallowed by this sweater.
I like
so cute.
sweaters.
Cute little Emily. That is a huge sweater. That would probably...
It's a big sweater.
That's going to cover your whole butt.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But you're liking this.
This is beautiful.
You should distill that.
This is beautiful.
Okay, so anyway, I knit this. It's a free pattern on the Istex website. And because they do different free patterns for like anniversaries and different kinds of things. This is a free pattern. The yarn cost is pretty low buy-in. I think the whole sweater you're spending, this sounds crazy. Sweater knitters are crazy folks. So I'm gonna be like, it's so cheap. It's only $120. Like if I walked into a store and the sweater was $120, I'd be like, I'd turn around. I'd be like, why would I spend that? Yarn though, that's cheap for sweater yarn because I've spent more quite commonly. But anyway, so just blocked this, laid it out. It's dry. And it's dry. Yeah, I'll still put it in front of the fire. It smells wonderful.
So good.
I did a double pump of Beyond Soft, the unicorn stuff. And then I did a little bit of the Eucalan to relanolize a little because these are meant to be outerwear. So once that tog, that sticky outie, what's stabbing everybody right now, once that works its way into the sweater, kind of felts into the sweater, and then we let that fell bloom out and take over, it's going to get a beautiful halo, like a mohair, not as intense, but similar. And then all the tog will work its way in, and now we are windproof, we are waterproof, we are ready to brave elements with just this, not a plastic-based high-tech winter coat. So these are mystical and magical. I love the functionality of Icelandic as a breed. I've got a huge bag of it just right up there. I will always have it at my shows, even though no one buys it. And I will always, because I love it. And yes, I recognize it's coarse wool. This isn't even medium. This is very coarse. Very coarse. There is another brand out there for Icelandic Lopi if you're not going to spin it yourself. And it's called Viking wool, and it is softer. And you can use it interchangeably with these. But I mean.
I think you should steal that sweater.
I love this so much. I'm not putting this online just yet because sometimes Wyatt does look at my Instagram. I'm gonna get a picture of him in this in front of some crazy fountain in Rome, and then I'll. Okay, I knit that in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I knit that in 2 weeks. See, Melly does knit; it just never appears anywhere. This, I hated every minute of this. So this would be a West Coast sweater. Not a Cowichan, as it has not been knit by the Cowichan people. So we're not calling it a Cowichan. It's Cowichan style, though. So these kind of old styles of the really, really fluffy, poofy wool. And you knit all the pieces individually. So you knit a sleeve, just put it around your neck.
Oh, okay.
She's gonna chill with us. So you knit all the pieces in a super bulky, unspun wool. I've knit 7 of these. I love knitting them. They can be a little hard on your wrists. So this is cute. Mm-hmm. You look cute right now. They can be a little hard on your wrists. I love knitting them. I love this kind of knitting. I love the speed at which they go. But for the speed that you get in the knit, you lose in seaming the whole sucker up. And I did a boo-boo on this one. So this was originally supposed to be for Sun that I'm seeing tomorrow. This was supposed to be for him. He is thin and tall. He's like 6'2", but he's thin. And so I had him try on Aaron's sweater. It's my husband's sweater before he left. And okay, it's too big by this much, but I'll knit him the smaller size, right? If Dad got the large, I'll knit him the small, but I'll put length on it because these things are quite oversized and quite big. But I was stupid. So the problem with these is that you're knitting from a graph and you just basically start in. Dion, are you asking what this pattern is? This is a vintage pattern. So this is an old, it's called a Chinook pattern. They had White Buffalo, Cowichan, and Chinook were like the 3 major creators of these patterns back in like the 70s and the 80s, even the 60s. I have a collection of like 90 vintage patterns that have been scanned into PDF. Email me. They're like, these companies are all closed now. They don't exist anymore. And they're not owned by anybody. Like no one even produces the wool. So I got my wool from Custom Wool and Mills in Alberta because they do an exact like replica. It's a 6-strand unspun. You could also hold like a Nutitan, the Manchalope or whatever the one that's called, or like 1 strand or 2 strands. As long as you're holding 6, you should get about gauge for these. The gauge is monstrously enormous. So I got a bunch of plates from my local Canadian mill. Well, they're not local, they're in Alberta, which is pretty local. And then you buy, it tells you at the beginning of the pattern how many pounds of wool you need in each color. You 2 pounds in this color, half a pound in this color. And because each plate weighs about 8 ounces. I find that really funny. They also do not hold your hand. These old patterns do not tell you what to do. They like basically give you a needle size. Even in the measurement system we don't super use anymore, like 0, 0. I'm like, what the heck is 0, 0? So I have to go look it up. Oh, okay. It's like a 10 millimeter. All right. What's 0, 0? But it's like a different unit of measurement. I think maybe that was UK or something. So they're really funny to work with. And you basically just get a graph. It looks like you could cross stitch from this thing. Looks like a cross stitch graph. Mm-hmm. So the problem that I had was I added length here after the ribbing before the pattern to give him a couple extra inches on a smaller size. But what I failed to consider, because I'm stupid, is here. The area from the graph from here to here. Because we have a set amount of stitches across and we're decreasing at a set rate, I lost length from armpit to shoulder. I lost length in the yoke. And that is where it doesn't fit. It tucks up inside my armpits. As a tall person, it's like right up in here. And I hate how it feels. He's taller than me. He's not getting in this stupid thing. It's perfectly wide enough. It's actually long enough in the body, but it's like choking out your armpits when you put the stupid thing on. And so then one day our like 5'5" daughter comes over and she throws it on and it's perfect. And already he didn't want, this was originally this pattern. Oh, look. This pattern is supposed to be a zippered pattern. He wanted a pullover. So I modified the front piece to be a pullover. Then he wanted a hoodie pocket. So I put a kangaroo pocket in and that took me 8 tries. And then when we realized it wasn't going to fit him, isn't that gorgeous though? And it was going to fit daughter, she didn't like the collar because she doesn't like collars like that. So I ripped the collar out and I knit her a hood. And all of these elements, this hood and how to do it and this pocket come from other of the vintage patterns that I have for this wool. The other fatal mistake I made is that in the past when I've knit these, I block each piece alone. So before I sew it up, I block the pieces and I get everything laid out and nice and smooth. Then I sew up. But the actual patterns don't tell you to do that. They want you to steam block, never wet block, probably because it's unspun. So this time I wet blocked. And I feel strongly that if I had done my regular, because I locked this seam in, that's locked in. I feel like had I had it where I wet blocked them individually before I sewed it up, I probably could have stretched it because the wool is like really forgiving. And anyway, so this was my great tragedy while I was doing Dashel through the snow. And I spent that whole stupid week where I was supposed to be like, just loving my projects. And I was like, I hate this sweater. I hate it. And every time you come over, I hate it. And like, I had to put it in the corner and time it out. And now that it's done, I love this thing. I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. Love how it came out. It weighs a lot, but it's weirdly light, but it's supposed to be like a coat, right? So my husband has one of these. My brother-in-law has one. My brother has one. My other son has one. I've got one. We've all got these sweaters, and youngest son wanted one, and I messed it up. So now daughter has one. And rather than trying again, because I was too mad at it, I busted out a Lopi. I busted out an Icelandic sweater because he loves those too. Because I couldn't. I'm not ready. I also have another one of these that I found at a thrift store in pieces almost finished. I think it's a vest.
That's right.
Yeah. So if I get a good enough color match, you can finish them because they're really easy to read where you are in the pattern and really easy because there weren't all that many patterns made for these brands. You should see the ones from the 70s. They're all like belted, long, like mid-thigh, like big sweaters. And everyone's got like the hair, like the Farrah Fawcett hair. And they've got like big sheepdoggy looking things with those hairy like greyhound dogs, you know? Yes, and like the photos are such a vibe. Anyway, if you're looking for, there's a sweater on Ravelry. I think it's called the West Coast Cardigan by Jane Richmond, I think. And it's a all-in-one piece. I think, I don't know. I haven't looked into it too much, but I know it's similar like this. I personally like to seam it. I wouldn't want a seamless version of this because I feel like you'd be asking the shoulder, this area, to be doing a lot if you didn't have all this reinforcement here for structure. I feel like the sweaters weigh so much, it would be weird without having the seams up the sides and the seams here and the seams down the arm. I feel like a sweater like this needs that, like, those kind of bones. Did you take good notes so you know what to do to your sons later? I did. All I needed to do, Dion, all I needed to do was when I came to this point and you start decreasing, I needed to stop and knit a few rows flat before decreasing to build up this zone. I also could have done one of those like Gansy little triangle darts, and I actually thought about it. I thought about ripping that armpit apart and trying to, I don't know. No, I choose hate. I choose to hate it and finish it and be rid of it. So that's what I did. This huge sweater. So that one's done. Okay.
The voice note I got when she realized she had messed up the armpit was impeccable, by the way. Just in case.
Because I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. I couldn't figure out what I had done wrong. And then when I realized that this area was so much shorter because I knit this, because I wanted the width to be in. Anyway. That was really stupid of me. There are also, if you aren't up for this challenge of knitting one yourself, you can buy these from the Cowichan people. And actually, I find that link and I can stick it in the show notes. And you can actually, there's like lots of knitters who knit them beautifully in like the traditional methods. It's really, really gorgeous. Cool history with these sweaters. Super cool if you've never looked into it. That's like West Coast Canada stuff. Big time. And we love. Okay. Last but not least. These big boot weight socks. Not super impressive. I'm constantly knitting socks. If I had actually walked around this house and picked up all the socks I've recently knit without showing the internet, it would be like 25 pairs of socks. These ones are special because that little a-hole Dutton chewed them. And when he had a little snack time and ate the whole top of the sock. And rather than trying to like go back and fix it somehow, I just went through all the live loops and whip stitched around and I left it. They're way too big for me. Aaron doesn't wear socks like this. I don't really know what we're doing with that. This is knit out of Canadian wool. This is a wool that I actually sold at cost. We had this made at a local mill and it was really inconsistent. But it was made with some beautiful wool, a local CVM BFL and the Graham Rani fine wool. Knit up, we're good. Like it's, but this isn't a hand spun. This was made at a mill and it just was something that like, see all the, it was something that I didn't want to slap the Wool Room label on and put out to the world. So we sold it at cost at in-person shows, just what we paid to get made. We just, kind of calculated up the fleece and the milling and we just sold it off at cost. And then I kept some back and I really I did love knitting with it. It just wasn't something, it would need to be explained if it had gone out with a yarn label on it.
Yeah.
It didn't look on purpose. No, it didn't look on purpose, but it was very nice to knit with.
It had some quirks.
Yeah. And so it kind of looks like I've got like a little hand spun sock going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And detonate them.
Yeah.
So now they have some sentimental value. And I often do this knitting that I can't it's not for anyone. I just like to knit. So people just pick things up and leave but we are knitting constantly. Anyway, those are the knits. Without me, those are the ones I finished since the beginning of the year.
Yeah. All like last month.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of this month, yeah.
That's it. I'm knitting like every evening or spinning. Just started a sweater spin. So that's exciting.
Did you start that one?
I did. I started that How New one.
Ooh.
Anyone on here who knows how I usually go with sweater spins is doubting my ability to finish it. That's okay. I'm doubting it too. But you know what? I think I got this one. I think you can do it. I have hope. I have hope for this one. I'm not going to show it yet because I defiled an advent for this sweater spin. So I had received an advent And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to card the whole thing together. So I have this huge amount of like intentionally day by day hand dyed wool. And I just divided it up perfectly and ended up getting three 200-gram bats off the big homies. And I'm going to spin up 600 grams. And then I'm going to use this other advent for the contrast. And we're going to be totally good. But when I get the project done, I'll show everybody. Anyway, that's it. The showing off the knits is sort of like, just because, you know what? These are never going to see Instagram.
They might. Not. This one will. This one.
That one will. This one will. The sweater will. But that's it. That was a little ending to Sommelier Live lore that was not previously planned. I'm very proud of myself for the 2-week sweater. Yes. Very mad at myself for the giant West Coast sweater. And this was great because I had no intentions. I just liked the yarn and wanted to knit it into a thing. And now we have a thing. And I did it. I knit with my hand spun. Dion says, you can do it. Sweater spin. Allie B, hand Haunui sweater. Both. Okay, I got so many Haunui advents this year. Yeah, I did. They were all based in Haunui. A lot of designers, a lot of dyers did Haunui advents this year. One got totally uni carded. So whatever intentional color had been is now a uni color. The other one will become the background color. The intention is to do pressed flowers. Whether it be the pullover or the cardigan, because they have different weights they're looking for, depends on how I spin it. And we don't know yet because I didn't sample. I just went for it. And I already have 200 grams done. And that's what I'm doing. That's my plan. Okay, so that's it. Thank you, Imogen. Safe travels tomorrow. I'm taking off tomorrow. I'm getting on an airplane. I'm going to visit with my kid and run around Europe with him. So Emily is going to be here holding down the wool room. She's got a monster pile to scour for March Sommelier and Fibers West, which is coming up. We've got a ton of wool being picked and that's going to be carded and everything. So nothing is stopping while I'm gone. Emily can do everything I do except pick. You know what I mean? Wow. And you don't buy fleeces either. I'm going to gloss right over that. Okay. I'm glossing right past it. You also don't buy.
No, I don't buy fleeces.
But if you stopped skipping, you should come this year to the local auction and choose some.
I very much want to come to the auction this year. I missed it last year for a reason I cannot remember. I think I went away. Wasn't worth it.
Don't you have a wedding this July?
That's actually more important. I have to go to that, actually. My cousin's getting married. That's very exciting.
Anyway, other than that, Emily can do everything I do. She has been completely and totally influenced in all of the ways of wool. right down to the spike. Yeah. And she can scour. She does most of our scouring now. Yeah. Yep. She does most of the scouring on all the breeds, and which has been awesome because I've been just a scooch sick forever. And so it's been really nice to have her do the literal heavy lifting. And she almost primarily runs this one big homie now. Yeah. Which is crazy. Yeah. And now when you and I get side by side on these ones, we're like, this is so weird. This feels so old. This is us feeding wool. This is us feeding wool to the trays. Mm-hmm. So Emily is going to still be working while I'm gone. Mm-hmm. I am going to definitely be showing Europe on Instagram stories. Yes. But unless you post about wool, they won't be seeing any wool. Does anyone care?
Does anyone want me to post about?
Does anyone want to see the trip? Aren't you on? They're on Million Knits for wool. I don't want to hold up my knitting in front of a stupid thing. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be me with a pizza every day. It's going to be like that. Emily Knits. Emily Knits. Emily Knits. Oh, that's very adorable. Okay. All right. So that's what's going on, guys, in Melly Knits land coming up for the next 2 weeks. When I get back, I'm going to be jet-lagged, and I'm going to make sure we do some kind of a live because that could be really fun.
I want to see it all. Okay. I'll see
Emily takeover. I feel like you should do the cute little Emily takeover.
Okay. Oh, there. See, everyone wants you to post about Europe.
Oh.
Europe on it. Wool, both. Okay. I can be better about posting. I've been pretty bad at it lately.
Me too.
Let's see how much I can scour in the time that you're away.
Your sommelier scouring those. You can't talk about it, but talk about the Fibers West scouring.
But how much I'm scouring? I just can't talk. I just can't tell you guys everything that I'm doing.
Is your fleece still in the rinse?
It's on the last one.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, they can sit in the rinse as long as you want. They just can't sit in a scour, or the lanolin goes back in.
Yeah.
Pro tip:
don't do that.
Don't do that. The fleece hates it. Okay, so that's it. We're showing.
Yeah, we're showing. Okay,
we need a cute
showing. Yeah.
And Melly Knits takeover would be cute.
That is actually
or the
cute.
CLE takeover.
CLE takeover. I might do that one. Whatever one I remember tomorrow when I get here in the morning is what will happen. So
yeah, and then I'll let you guys know how things are going.
Yeah,
on the other side.
On the other side of the pond.
On the other side of the pond. Okay. Wow, it's time to go. It's time to go. Much love to you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming in on the lore. I absolutely am astounded and pleased as stink that people want to come on and watch a Rambly live that I find personally very interesting. You find interesting, and it's so awesome that other people find it interesting. Yay, internet for that. Yay, internet for that. And I hope everyone's well, doing and enjoying whatever it is you're making. The cute little takeover.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Of course, Melody came up with the name.
That's the one.
Of course. The cute little takeover. Okay. So we will see you guys next month for the live lore. Otherwise, enjoy yourselves and